Chapter 4838. What an ignorant ant! Lin Xian shook his head and sneered. You think that just because you can't beat me, no one in this world can't beat me? Boy, I admit that I am not invincible in this world, and there are many people stronger than me. But you are absolutely not one of them. The reason you were able to contend with Demon Shine before was because you swallowed some sort of secret pill in advance to forcefully increase your strength. This sort of pill is extremely harmful and will damage a martial artist's foundation. You're dead. Do you think that you can fool me with this kind of insignificant trick of yours? Lin Xian was left speechless. This fellow was far too arrogant. Forget it. He was too lazy to explain. His eyes flashed with a cold light. Think what you want, but I came to find you for an important matter. What is it? Do you want to join forces with me to contend with Demon Shine again? The way he saw it, Lin Xian must have escaped and wanted to invite him back. Lin Xian sneered. You really are an idiot. I came to find you to tell you that I want to borrow your 6 path fists. What did you say? Scattered 6 Paths was thoroughly shocked. This fellow wanted to borrow his 6 path fists? What a joke! This was his ultimate skill, and it was also the 6 path gate's ultimate skill. He would never pass it on to outsiders. This fellow wanted to see it? I'm not crazy, am I? But soon his mind stirred. Could it be that this fellow wanted to take him as his master? Young people all had their pride as geniuses. This fellow must have been too embarrassed to directly say it, so he changed his words. Thinking of this, his heart burned with passion. It had to be known that a genius he had raised had already perished, leaving him with deep regret. If he could take this person as his disciple, that would also be an extremely good thing. He could even use this chance to explore the secrets of this fellow's body. After all, to be able to jump ranks and contend with Demon Shine, there had to be some sort of fortuitous encounter on his body. When the time came, he could hide and become even stronger. Boy, do you want to learn the 6 path fists? Sure, kneel down and take me as your master, and I'll teach you the 6 path fists. Lin Xian smiled. This fellow must have hurt his head in that battle. Take him as a master? I think you've misunderstood. I'm not here to take you as my master. I'm here to order you to hand over the 6 paths fist. This 6 paths loose cultivator was from the 6 paths gate. Lin Xian had been hunted down by the 6 paths gate, and there was a chance that he would continue to be hunted down in the future. After all, he had obtained the power of reincarnation. Both sides would become enemies sooner or later. Therefore, Lin Xian would not hold back against the people of the 6 Dao School. The 6 Paths vagabond was furious as well. Not only did he not want to become Yi Fuqian's disciple, he even wanted to force his way in. What a joke! Do you think that just because I'm injured, you can behave atrociously over my head? Even if you were given another 5,000 years, you wouldn't be qualified. Stupid thing. Since you don't want it, I'll take it myself. Lin Xian's eyes flashed with a sharp light. Then the giant hand reached out. The golden palm descended like the sun, bringing with it terrifying flames. The scattered cultivator of 6 paths dodged the attack. His face was gloomy as he thought. If you want to die, I'll fulfill your wish. I'll show you what the true 6 paths fist is. He roared and punched out. The power of the 6 paths fist seemed to be able to engulf reincarnation. It had to be said that the scattered cultivator of 6 paths was really strong. This was a peerless fist technique. Lin Xian was not afraid. He used the skywalk step, constantly swaying. What a peerless fist technique. It's a pity that it's like this. Damn brat! The scattered cultivator of 6 paths clenched his teeth. His opponent's movement technique was too strange. He clenched his teeth and said, Why don't you dare to fight me head-on? Take my ultimate skill, 6 paths of reincarnation. His fist carried the phantoms of 6 worlds, which immediately shrouded Lin Xian. Go to hell, brat. He hadn't used this attack when he faced Demonshine. In his opinion, he just didn't want to risk his life against Demonshine. Otherwise, even if he used the 6 paths of reincarnation, it would be difficult to resist. This brat in front of him was even more impossible to resist. The earth cracked as the 6 phantoms swallowed everything. The scattered cultivator of 6 paths laughed complacently. Is this your 6 paths of reincarnation? It's only SOO. A calm voice came from the front again. What? The scattered cultivator of 6 paths' pupils shrank. You're not dead? How is this possible? Is he not afraid of reincarnation? His eyes widened. A light cut through the void. He saw Lin Xian standing in the middle of the 6 phantoms, opening up an independent space. The scattered cultivator of 6 paths' power couldn't even get close to him. A golden light appeared in Lin Xian's eyes, and an extremely terrifying phantom appeared. Let me show you what the true power of reincarnation is. Reincarnation steel. The eye technique in Lin Xian's eyes completely erupted. The power of reincarnation swept out, directly tearing apart the 6 phantoms. They turned into 2 steels that pressed forward. In an instant, the scattered cultivator of 6 paths soul was severely injured. He spat out blood, his face full of horror. The power of reincarnation. Damn it, how can you have this power? He was crazy. This was something that only the 6 paths gate had. No, he was shocked. Lin Xian used his eyes to release the power of reincarnation. Does he have the Rinnegan? Thinking of this possibility, his scalp went numb. Now he finally understood why Lin Xian attacked him. The 6 paths gate was known as the 6 paths body. As for the Rinnegan that was related to the soul, it was a different branch. After all, Kuan Grand Sage and Qian Dashing had different developments in the past, and they were mortal enemies. Both wanted to take the others. Now he was a member of the 6 paths gate, and Lin Xian had a terrifying eye technique and the power of reincarnation. Clearly, he was a descendant of Qian Grand Sage. Damn it, the Rinnegan has appeared. He had to quickly inform the sect to pursue Lin Xian. Thinking of this, he turned around and fled. Don't you think it's too late to leave now? Lin Xian stood on the cliff and looked into the distance. Extremely terrifying flames burst out from his eyes. He formed a hand seal and activated his heavenly secret technique, the fire of reincarnation. Buzz! The terrifying soul fire floated out and instantly enveloped the other party. The next moment, the scattered cultivator of 6 paths screamed in the air. His body was twisted. His body was not injured, but his soul was severely injured. Damn it! The 6 paths of reincarnation. Lin Xian used the power of reincarnation. He could only use the power of reincarnation to block it. Although his soul was not as strange as Lin Xian's, he had cultivated the 6 paths fist. His fist technique could be used to create 6 worlds. It turned into the 6 paths of reincarnation to save his life. As expected, the power of the 6 paths of reincarnation blocked Lin Xian's soul fire. The scattered cultivator of 6 paths' face was pale, and his expression was ferocious. Brat, you almost killed me. I didn't expect you to have cultivated the power of reincarnation to such a level. Unfortunately, you're too young. If I give you a few 100 years, I won't be able to escape. But now you can't stop me. Chapter 4839. Can't stop you? Lin Xian laughed. You're too naive. Do you think I only have the Rinnegan as a trump card? 6 paths' pupils shrank. Could it be that Lin Xian had an even more powerful trump card? He did not believe it. You're deliberately mystifying me. Lin Xian said that you weren't my match even before I broke through, let alone now. Back then, 6 paths was stunned. Did he know Lin Xian before? Right, you still don't know who I am. My name is Lin Xian, and I have another title, the Mad God. What, you're the Mad God? The 6 Tao cultivator exclaimed in disbelief. How could he not know this name? Back then, he had been suppressed by the Mad God. He had thought of countless possibilities. The Mad God should be a powerhouse of the older generation, but he had never expected him to be a young man. Damn it, I don't believe it. 6 paths roared and flew into the sky. He wanted to escape. Lin Xian was too terrifying. You want to escape? Lin Xian waved his hand, and the heaven-devouring jar flew out. A terrifying black vortex swept down from the sky. Scram! 6 paths roared and punched out, trying to break the vortex. However, he found that he could not do it. What is this? He was shocked. Lin Xian had a trump card, and it was extremely powerful. Could it be that Lin Xian was really the Mad God? Thinking of this possibility, he despaired. This was his nightmare. He felt that his entire body was about to be swallowed by the black jar. Lin Xian's eyes were filled with killing intent. Before he broke through, the Mad God was already no match for him. Now that he had broken through, how could the Mad God be a match for him? Devour! With a roar, the heaven-devouring jar's power erupted, and the sky darkened. With a whoosh, 6 paths was swallowed. Lin Xian waved his hand and recalled the heaven-devouring jar. The corners of his mouth curled up into a smile. His figure flickered, and he returned to the Path Sect and the divine abode. He went into seclusion. This time he had killed 2 powerful great sages in a row, so he had gained a lot. With a wave of his hand, he first took out Demon Shine's storage ring. There were many magic crystals and magic stones, all of which were used to cultivate the Devil Dao. Then, Lin Xian's eyes shone with understanding. When he had destroyed the other party's soul, he had investigated it once. It was all for the sake of collecting the light of the demonic gods, the cultivation method of this divine ability. When he saw the light of the demon god, he was also greatly surprised. It was a very powerful divine ability that Lin Xian could cultivate. Logically speaking, the further one progressed, the harder it would be to cultivate. Many powerful saint kings and even great saints would cultivate a small number of specific nomological laws, because his energy was limited. However, Lin Xian didn't care at all. He had the great dragon sword spirit, so he didn't need to worry about energy. He frowned slightly. He did not know who this demon master was. Originally, he thought that it should be a mythical figure, a symbol like a totem. But later, he found out that it wasn't the case. Before he died, he said that he was the Devil Lord's disciple. Then, was this demon lord still alive? Moreover, he was probably an extremely terrifying existence, even among great saints. Could it be that he had reached the peak of great saint? Or was the demon lord just a title that was inherited by the strongest demonic cultivator in history? He didn't know any of this. He couldn't be bothered to care. After tidying up the light of the demon god, Lin Xian took out the heaven-devouring jar again and checked inside. The scattered 6 paths body had long been devoured. Only his soul was left, and it was weak. If Lin Xian hadn't intentionally left his soul intact, he would have died long ago. The heaven-devouring jar was half an extreme weapon. Its power was definitely not something a great saint could imagine. Seeing Lin Xian enter, the scattered 6 paths soul quickly said, "Assistant, please don't kill me. I'm willing to hand over the 6 paths fist." "Very good." Lin Xian nodded. The scattered 6 paths heaved a sigh of relief. However, in the next moment, his soul roared crazily. "You dare to attack me?" Lin Xian's expression was cold, and an extremely terrifying reincarnation vortex appeared in his eyes. "I can let you live, but from now on, you will only be my slave. You will always respect me." He activated an extremely powerful reincarnation power and placed the seal of life and death. The scattered 6 paths soul became extremely weak. The way he looked at Lin Xian changed. He became extremely respectful, because now Lin Xian could take his life with a single glance. His soul knelt down on one knee in greeting. Lin Xian waved his hand and released the scattered 6 paths soul. Then he said, "Recover." Go and recover on your own. If anything happens, I'll inform you." Yes, the scattered six paths soul was extremely respectful. He turned into a stream of light and disappeared. Lin Xian didn't kill him because he still had a use for him. Keeping him alive would make him his slave in the future. There were many things that he could let him do. It was equivalent to having a powerful battle servant. Then his lips curled into a smile. The six paths fist was in his hands. He had wanted this fist technique for a long time. The power of the six paths fist was extremely terrifying. The scattered six paths had been famous for many years because of this peerless fist technique. Lin Xian believed that this fist technique would become even more terrifying in his hands. This was because his physique was far from what the scattered six paths could compare to. Moreover, the reincarnation power that he possessed was not something that the other party could imagine. Next, Lin Xian went into seclusion and began to enter the sword world to cultivate these two techniques. 4 Spirit Valley. The 4 spirit beasts were surprised to see that Lin Xian had cultivated 2 powerful divine abilities. How could this kid cultivate all kinds of laws and divine abilities? Could he cultivate all of them? A few of them were doubtful. However, not long after, they were astonished. They discovered that Lin Xian had actually practiced the 2 different ultimate skills to such an extent that they looked like they were real. Could it be that this guy was also an expert of the demonic path? On this day, Lin Xian stopped. He felt that he could no longer improve by cultivating in seclusion. He had to find someone to practice with. But who could he find? With his current strength, it was not easy to find an opponent who was on par with him and was not life-threatening. But soon he smiled. The sacred Abyss Tower. That place was very suitable. Lin Xian immediately set off for the sacred Abyss Tower. Previously, he had already reached the 40th level, but he did not continue to break through to the 50th level. Instead, he started cultivating from the 1st level. This time it was not to increase his ranking, but to cultivate the light of the demon god and the 6 paths fist. The sacred Abyss Tower only recorded the highest ranking, so Lin Xian's cultivation would not affect his ranking. Just like that, he did not rest for a moment in the next few months. He did not know how many battles he had experienced. He was even covered in scars. However, Lin Xian did not use any other techniques. He used the 6 paths fist and the light of the demon god to block. The light of the demon god could penetrate everything. The 6 paths fist was even more terrifying as it pressed forward. Finally, Lin Xian once again relied on these 2 divine abilities to reach the 30th level. He had mastered it. Lin Xian continued to head towards the 40th level. When he stood on the 40th level, he smiled. He had completely mastered these 2 divine abilities. Next, he would continue to break through. This time he had advanced by a realm. Presumably, his ranking would also increase greatly. His target was the 50th level. Chapter 4840. In the main hall outside, everyone was either busy or resting. Very few people paid attention to the ranking list again. That was because the ranking on the Holy Gulf Glory ranking was stable most of the time and rarely changed. After all, it was extremely difficult to increase one's ranking. However, on this day, someone exclaimed again, "Look, that mad god's ranking changed again." What? How long has it been? He's going to increase his ranking again? Is Mad God really a person? Why do I feel that it's impossible? They had never heard of Lin Xian's improvement speed. Even a young great emperor was nothing special. Mad God's ranking rose again, causing another uproar. They discovered that this name had risen from the top 2,000 to the top 1,000. Heavens, he couldn't have reached the 50th level, right? How did he do it? These people were crazy. One had to know that the 6 paths loose cultivator had spent a lot of effort to go from 2001 to 2000. It was already so difficult to increase one's ranking, let alone 1,000. It was simply unimaginable. However, Mad God had done it easily. This guy was definitely an emperor's son, someone asserted. Others nodded. Some said that it might not be so. He might be an old monster. It's very likely that he's trying to pressure us. As soon as that was said, many people nodded. They found it hard to believe that a young man could have such heaven-defying strength. All kinds of guesses about Mad God appeared again. The Six Paths loose cultivator was shocked when he heard that. Mad God. He now knew that this was his master, the one who had stepped on him back then. However, he no longer had hatred for him, only endless respect and admiration. Not only did this increase in ranking alarm the surrounding challengers, but it also alarmed the divine generals of the Holy Gulf Tower. Such a large increase in ranking had not happened for many years, except for the Dragon Prince and Kuan Pingzi. Could it be that he was really an emperor's son? One of the divine generals frowned. Another divine general said, "Go and check it out." However, they found that there seemed to be no clues at all. "We must find him. Perhaps he's the person we're looking for. Do you want him to take part in that challenge?" "That's right, it's almost time for our agreed date, but we don't have enough manpower. I want to find him and have him participate in that challenge. This way, our chances of winning will be much higher." A few divine generals whispered in the hall. They had decided that they had to find the Mad God. However, they did not know that Mad God, also known as Lin Xian, had already received his reward and left. Just like that, he left in front of everyone. Lin Xian returned to the divine palace and entered the sword world once again. He was now filled with curiosity towards this world. In his opinion, since spiritual herbs could be planted here, could spiritual ores be planted here as well? He made various attempts. It was possible, but it could only be done within the 4 spirit mountains. After all, the earth here had already recovered its power, and there was also the dragon flame astral world in the sky. Other than that, the area around the valley was fine as well, but not outside. It seemed like the power of one world was not enough. Lin Xian narrowed his eyes, waved his hand, and took out a world core. This world core was obtained from the Six Paths loose cultivator. Previously, Nalin Yenran gave it to the Six Paths loose cultivator to save his life. Later on, the Six Paths loose cultivator became his battle servant, and this world core also fell into his hands. It seemed that when he had time, he would have to make another trip to the universe and devour this world as well. Turn into a star. Lin Xian knew that this sword world was too mysterious. It was not something that could be recovered by fusing 1 or 2 worlds. He was afraid that he would have to use countless worlds to turn into stars in order to restore the vitality of this world. Thinking of this, Lin Xian walked out. Previously, Nalin Yenran had promised him that he would give him 3 more worlds after the matter was done. Now that such a long time had passed, it should be enough. Thinking of this, Lin Xian found Nalin Liang and told him about this matter. Nalin Liang said, "Boss, don't worry, I'll take you there now." The two of them headed towards the Nalin family. Nalin Liang first brought Lin Xian to his own lineage to meet his father and grandfather. "Greetings, seniors." Lin Xian was refined and polite. The people from the Nalin family also laughed. "Lin Gongzi is too polite. This child was born slow-witted. I hope that young master will take care of him in the future." Lin Xian laughed. "He and I are brothers, so we naturally have to advance and retreat together." Nalin Liang also said, "Grandfather, don't worry. Lin Xian is my boss. Under his leadership, I will definitely become stronger and stronger." The middle-aged man and the old man both knew about this point because the current Nalin Liang was already ranked 5th on the stars ranking. Without Lin Xian's help, it would be impossible to achieve such a ranking. "Oh, right, grandfather, Lin Gongzi has come for a big matter this time." Nalin Liang told him about what had happened. He had already told him about it before. Now that the old man heard it, he sucked in a breath of cold air once again. Previously, he thought that his grandson was joking. Now it seemed that it was true. He said, "Okay, I'll get the elders of Yenran's family to come over." Nalin Liang's grandfather was the 8th elder. Nalin Yenran's grandfather was the 5th elder. At this moment, the great elder held a banquet and sent people to invite the 5th elder and Nalin Yenran. Nalin Yenran's father and others were also invited. At the 5th elder's residence. When the 5th elder heard the guard who came to report, he nodded and said, "I understand. Go back and tell 8th brother that I will be there." After the guard left, a middle-aged man walked out from the back of the hall and said, "Father, why did the 8th elder invite us?" Who knows what this 8th elder is up to? But other than inviting us, he also invited Yenran. Could it be related to that Lin Xian? As for Lin Xian's matter, they had already investigated it before. However, the results of their investigation were different from what Nalin Yenran had said. This Lin Xian was powerful, but not to such a terrifying extent. Perhaps Yenran remembered wrongly. Anyway, they were very suspicious about this matter. The 5th elder said, "Don't tell Yenran about this matter. Let's go. How about I call a few more people?" The middle-aged man was still worried, so he called a few more brothers. Just like that, a group of people went to the 8th elder's residence. At this moment, the 8th elder's residence was very lively. All kinds of lights lit up and exquisite delicacies were served. He was going to welcome Lin Xian. "8th brother, your residence is so lively. Is there something big going on today?" A laugh could be heard. Then the 5th elder and others walked in. The surrounding young disciples, guards, and maids all bowed and retreated to the sides. The 8th elder also stood up and said, "5th brother, you are so slow." "Greetings, 8th elder." Behind him, Nalin Yenran's father and other brothers all bowed. Nalin Liang's people also bowed. "Greetings, 5th elder." "Well, we're on the same side. Don't be so polite." The 5th elder laughed and walked forward. He held the 8th elder's hand and said, "Look at your red face. Something good must have happened." The 8th elder also laughed. He said, "5th brother, let me introduce you to someone. You will definitely be interested." This was a young genius. Chapter 48-41. The 5th elder raised his eyebrows and asked, "What genius?" The 8th elder laughed. "5th elder, it's Lin Gongzi. He's the top genius of the True Tao sect." The 5th elder pretended to be surprised and looked at Lin Xian. Then he said, "Is that so? Seems like I'm really old. There's a new genius in the True Tao sect. I always thought that the most famous people in the True Tao sect were the Dragon Prince and the Dragon Prince." As soon as these words came out, the 8th elder was stunned, and so was Nalin Liang. Lin Xian narrowed his eyes. Looking at the 5th elder's attitude, there seemed to be something wrong. Nalin Liang walked out and said, "5th elder, you don't know Lin Gongzi?" "How could that be?" Sister Nalin was saved because of Lin Gongzi. The 5th elder was shocked again. "Oh, is that so? I really don't know about this. Yenran hasn't told me about it yet. If this is true, then I really have to thank this young master for his generosity." The 8th elder's eyes flashed. Why did he feel that the atmosphere wasn't right? He quickly said, "5th elder, come. Let's talk while we eat." The group of people sat down. The 8th elder raised his wine cup and said, "Lin Gongzi, the Nalin family wants to thank you. First, it's because of Nalin Liang. This kid's strength has increased tremendously with your help. Let me give you a toast." Then he stood up and drank it in one gulp. Lin Xian said, "The 8th elder is too courteous. Nalin Liang is my brother. It's my duty to help him." Then the 8th elder poured a second cup and said, "The second thing is that you saved Yenran. Yenran is the top genius of the Nalin family. Previously, she was threatened by a mysterious expert and her life was in danger. If it wasn't for you, Yenran would have been in danger. So, 5th elder and I will give you a toast." Then the great elder looked at the 5th elder However, the fifth elder just sat there and didn't have any intention of raising his cup. This caused everyone to be stunned. Countless gazes landed on the fifth elder. The fifth elder was actually very clear in his heart. How could he not know Lin Xian? He had already inquired about him and had seen countless portraits of Lin Xian. However, he could not admit to this. Yan Ran agreed to give the other party 3 worlds. This was a huge amount of wealth, and the resources of these 3 worlds had to be provided by the people of their bloodline. If he gave it to the other party, his heart would bleed. Therefore, he was unwilling. Moreover, he didn't really believe that Lin Xian had the strength to kill the mysterious expert. The way he saw it, the unrestrained 6 paths and the mysterious expert were both severely injured, and this kid had suddenly jumped out to end the battle. In other words, the other party should be taking advantage of the situation. Another point was that Nalin Liang and this brat were brothers. Since that was the case, the stronger this brat was, the stronger Nalin Liang would be. If he grew to a certain extent, he would very likely replace Nalin Yanran and become the number 1 in the family. That way, their lineage would be greatly suppressed. He wouldn't allow this to happen. Therefore, after thinking about it, he felt that he had to suppress Lin Xian. At least, he couldn't give the resources of the 3 worlds. Therefore, after hearing the 8th elder's words, he thought for a while and said calmly, "8th brother, you're too impatient. I'll ask Yan Ran about it when she comes back. If it's really as you said, I'll invite Lin Gongzi to a banquet. It's a little too early now." What? The surrounding people were stunned. The 8th elder's eyes lit up. As an old fox, he naturally knew that the 5th elder wanted to go back on his word. The elders had always been in a competitive relationship. Previously, Nalin Yanran was the number 1 in the family, and the 5th elder's lineage was extremely powerful. They were so powerful that they couldn't even raise their heads. Now that Nalin Liang had found a powerful backer like Lin Xian, the 8th elder would naturally stand on Lin Xian's side. Therefore, at this moment, he frowned and said to the 5th elder, "5th elder, you're wrong." Nalin Liang was also present at the incident. He saw it with his own eyes. "He can't lie to you," the 5th elder said calmly. How could he take the words of the younger generation seriously? He might be exaggerating. Besides, how could they understand the power of a great sage? "Are you doubting my boss's strength?" Nalin Liang was finally angry. He slammed the table and stood up. The 8th elder shouted angrily, "Sit down. How can you talk to your 5th elder like that?" Nalin Liang gritted his teeth and sat down. However, his eyes were filled with dissatisfaction. Today he was really too aggrieved. 5th elder's words are really disappointing. Our Nalin family is a top family. If this matter is spread out, we'll be laughed at. Who dares to challenge our Nalin family? Just kill him. A domineering aura rose from the 5th elder's body, shocking everyone. It seemed that the other party was determined not to admit it. At this moment, Lin Xian also spoke. The smile on his face disappeared, and there was a trace of cold light in his eyes. He said coldly, "There's no need for a toast. I'm not familiar with you. However, I still have to fulfill my promise. Nalin Yanran promised to give me 3 world cores after this matter is settled. Now hand them over." His words were incomparably cold. To be honest, he did want to make friends with the Nalin family. He even wanted the Nalin family to fight in his divine union camp. Before he came, he was full of expectations. After all, he was the other party's savior. Even if the other party bargained and only gave him 2 world cores, Lin Xian felt that it was fine. However, the other party actually refused to admit that he had saved his life and even showed a doubtful attitude. This made Lin Xian very angry. Since this was the case, Lin Xian naturally wouldn't try to rope the other party in. He would treat this debt of saving his life as a transaction. After this, there would be no more interactions. However, the 5th elder laughed when he heard this. 3 world cores? Could it be that this young master was joking? Why didn't I know about this? Are you going to renege on your debt? Lin Xian's eyes flashed with killing intent once again. Not only did the other party not appreciate his kindness, but he also wanted to be ungrateful. The fifth elder said, I've already said that Nailin Yanran didn't tell me about this. She's not in the family right now. When she returns, I'll ask her before making a decision. Lin Gongzi, take your time eating here. I still have some matters to attend to. As he spoke, the fifth elder stood up. The few middle-aged men beside him followed suit. It seemed like they didn't intend to stay any longer. What? The people on the eighth elder's side were stunned. They hadn't expected the fifth elder and the others to go back on their word. Damn it, this is too despicable. Nailin Liang roared. Was this his fifth grandpa? How embarrassing. Lin Xian also stood up and said coldly, Where's Nailin Yanran? Ask her to come and see me. The fifth elder stopped in his tracks. Nailin Yanran's father also turned his head. Yanran wasn't in the family. She was out on a mission. She might return in a few months or a few years. Take your time and wait. Chapter 48-42. Hearing this, Lin Xian's eyes became colder and colder. He said coldly, Nailin Yanran was the one who offered the 3 world cores, and the price was to buy her life. Since I saved her life, I had to obtain these 3 realm cores. Otherwise, Lin Xian didn't say anything else. The people around them all gasped. The middle-aged man in front shouted angrily, Kid, are you threatening me? If you understand it as a threat, then you can. Since I can save her life, I can take her life. That's all I have to say. I want to see 3 realm cores within a month. After speaking, Lin Xian waved his sleeve and rushed into the sky, turning into a sword light and disappearing. The people on the 8th elder's side were stunned, but the people on the 5th elder's side were angry. Nailin Yanran's father snorted. You dare to threaten us? You don't know what's good for you. The 5th elder said coldly, Let's go. They didn't care about the words of a young man. The Nailin family had seen many storms, but they had never been threatened by a young man. The 5th elder and the others left with cold smiles. Nailin Liang roared, What elder? Embarrassing? How could the family have such a despicable person? Liang, or don't be rude. The 8th elder scolded. Then he said, 5th elder is indeed in the wrong. Why don't I go and persuade him again? You go and persuade Lin Gongzi. Maybe Yanran really didn't say anything. How could he take it? Nailin Liang said, Grandpa, we're not fools. How could Nailin, Yanran, not say anything when she was saved? I was called by the 5th elder for questioning, and they got a lot of information about Boss Lin for me. Now they're playing dumb. I think they just don't want to give up the 3 world cores. But wait, they'll regret it. Nailin Liang's father frowned. You think too highly of this Lin Gongzi. He's powerful, but can he shake the Nailin family? Father, Grandpa, you don't know how powerful Lin Gongzi is. There are some things I can't tell you now. But let me remind you, don't offend him. Take it as my grandson begging you. Otherwise, those who offended him would die without a burial ground. Just wait, Nailin Yanran will soon be out of luck. The 8th patriarch sucked in a cold breath. It seemed like he had to investigate this Lin Xian thoroughly. He looked at his grandson and said, Don't worry, we will definitely support you. We will stand on Lin Gongzi's side. This made Nailin Liang heave a sigh of relief. He knew that Lin Xian was not only a disciple of the Tao sect. His opponent was the Mad God. That was someone who was ranked 1,000 on the honor roll. It had only been a few years, and he had already reached that rank. His talent wasn't any weaker than the disciples back then. Would anyone who provoked such a person have a good ending? So what if the Nailin family is powerful? Nailin Liang was very clear about this. One had to know that he was also a young genius. So how could he not understand such a small matter? At the same time, he was also puzzled. Had the 5th elder's people really gone crazy? In fact, He couldn't be blamed for being puzzled because what Lin Xian had done was too shocking. Nalin Liang had stayed by Lin Xian's side for a long time. He knew a little about Lin Xian's background, so he believed in him so much. The others, including the 8th elder and the others, were also skeptical. If Lin Xian was the emperor's son, it wouldn't be surprising for him to do such a thing. However, Lin Xian wasn't, so they were suspicious. Nalin Liang shook his head, said goodbye to his father, and hurried back to the Dao sect. After returning, he found Lin Xian and said, "Boss Lin, I didn't know this would happen. Please punish me." Lin Xian said, "It has nothing to do with you. Also, it's best for your family to distance themselves from Nalin Yanran. I know this. I have already told my grandfather, and they are all on your side. Also, my grandfather will persuade the 5th elder. Maybe things will turn around. Let's hope so. However, I will only give her a month. This is the final deadline." Lin Xian didn't have much hope, so he started to contact the Crimson Dragon and prepare to set up the array formation. This time they weren't dealing with 1 or 2 experts, but an entire family. Although it wasn't the entire Nalin family, the power of that family couldn't be underestimated. They might even become enemies with the entire Nalin family. Therefore, Lin Xian had to be well prepared. The current divine union wasn't just made up of the few of them at the start. It had already accommodated a few hundred people. These people weren't weak. They were good at fighting and had great strength. They also had the support of their families and sections. Once Lin Xian used all his strength, this power would be unimaginably strong. The Crimson Dragon, Fu Hongye, and the others had already started to gather power and provide powerful resources. They had even set up many array formations. Lin Xian waited patiently. Nalin Liang kept running back to the family to ask for news. More than 20 days had passed, but there was still no news from the 5th elder. Nalin Yanran didn't seem to appear either. The 8th elder, Nalin Liang, and the others sighed. They knew that there was no turning back. Finally, a month's time was up. Lin Xian stood up. Since the other party wasn't willing to give it to him, he would take back what belonged to him personally. On the other side at the Nalin family, the 5th elder and the others sneered. A month's time was up. What could he do? Nalin Yanran's father said, "If he dares to make a move on us, we will cripple him. Yanran has been cultivating in seclusion. Let her go out. The Sky Sect's Xingtian has been looking for her for a gathering. He has already come several times. I have already rejected him. This time, I can't reject him again," the 5th elder said. The middle-aged man's eyes lit up. This Xingtian was pretty good. He was from the Xingtian family and was from the ancient tribe. His status was good enough for Yanran. More importantly, he was stronger than Yanran in the Xingtian family. Moreover, he was the personal disciple of an elder. His status in the heavenly sect was extraordinary. If Yanran could become his cultivation partner, she might have a chance to become an elder's disciple. When that happened, Yanran would definitely soar to the sky. "Father, you might be the next clan leader of the Nalin family." The 5th elder smiled proudly. However, he still said, "Don't talk about things that haven't happened yet." "Father, don't worry. I know, but I have to hurry and inform Yanran. We must get on Xingtian's good side." Moon Spirit Valley. The Holy Abyss ancient city was a very famous place. The scenery here was very beautiful, and especially at night, there were even more heaven and earth anomalies. Every night, one could see immortals flying under the moon. Therefore, this place was extraordinary. Countless experts and geniuses gathered for banquets. At this moment, there was a banquet in the Moon Spirit Valley. Those who came were all top geniuses. Their status and strength were terrifying. The host of the banquet was Shangtian family, a top genius of the ancient tribe. At the same time, he was also an expert on the Xian ranking of the heavenly sect. More importantly, he was the personal disciple of an elder of the heavenly sect. With such identities added together, Their appeal was terrifying. In an instant, many geniuses in the holy abyss ancient city rushed over. Chapter 48-43. Nalin Yenran stood in front of the snow maple tree in a daze. No one knew what she was thinking about. Today, she was specially dressed. She was like a fairy from the 9 heavens, making countless people look up to her. Many of the young geniuses had fiery eyes, but after asking around, they gave up. Not many people dared to have any ideas. This was because they knew that this event was specially organized by Sacred Sky for Nalin Yenran. Little sister Yenran, what are you thinking about? A few geniuses of the sky sect walked over and asked with a smile. The snow maple tree shook, and countless wind leaves fell, turning into the law of snow that swept through the world. This scene was exceptionally beautiful. Nalin Yenran turned around and smiled. Senior sister, don't think too much. You don't have to worry about the family matters. You, young Master Xingtian, he spent a lot of effort for you, but you didn't even thank him. Don't make senior brother Xingtian wait too long. Senior sister, don't make fun of me. Nalin Yenran blushed, but she quickly picked up a cup of spirit wine and walked forward. Senior brother Xingtian. A tall man turned around. He was wearing battle armor that bloomed with multicolored light, looking extraordinarily mighty. It was the outstanding genius, Sacred Sky. He smiled. Junior sister Yenran, how are you? Are you in a better mood? Thank you for your concern, senior brother. I'm much better. Oh, right, senior brother. Have you heard anything about that person? The person she was talking about was naturally Lin Xian. Previously, Lin Xian had saved her life, and she had agreed to give him 3 world cores. Later, when Lin Xian had come to her family, her grandfather had asked her to go into seclusion. Nalin Yenran also knew about the situation after that. Her grandfather had directly rejected Lin Xian, saying that he wouldn't give him 3 more world cores. However, Lin Xian had said that he would come and get it himself a month later. This made Nalin Yenran uneasy. After all, she had seen Lin Xian kill Mo Guang with her own eyes. That kind of strength had frightened her. The scene of that day was deeply imprinted in her mind, and she couldn't forget it. Thinking of him, Nalin Yenran couldn't help but feel terrified. This was also the reason why she couldn't feel at ease. Xingtian smiled. So it was because of this. Yenran, don't worry. That brat is nothing to be afraid of. Let me tell you. As he spoke, he pulled Nalin Yenran to sit under a tree on the snowy peak. Xingtian Kong said, Lin Xian was a disciple of the Tao sect. He had joined the sect a few years ago. He had established the divine union in the Tao sect and even fought against the Dragon Palace. But from what I see, it's just that. He is a top genius, but he is too reckless. He challenged Dragon Palace. Do you think he will have a good ending? The Dragon Palace was founded by the Imperial Prince. At present, the Dragon Prince would not care about such ants. However, if he really got angry one day, he could destroy them with a single finger. Furthermore, I've also found out more about him. He had come from Grand Clarity Ancient City, where he had also set off a storm. However, that was not his power. It was the power of the Heavenly Court. He only knew someone from the Heavenly Court. So what if he was from the Heavenly Court? The Heavenly Court had already been destroyed 50,000 years ago. Even if it was not dead, its vitality would be greatly damaged. Moreover, that was the Grand Clarity Ancient City, and this was the Holy Abyss Ancient City. The difference between the two was like night and day. More importantly, I heard that he was from the Immortal Burial Ground. He was judged by the Purple Mansion sect to not be tolerated by the heavens and earth, and had no future. There was nothing to worry about such a person. Nalin Yenran knew some of the previous news, but she had never heard of the latter few. Someone from the Immortal Burial Ground. Was he really the kind of person that heaven and earth could not tolerate? How could my information be wrong? My Saint Heaven's clan is in Grand Clarity Ancient City, and there are even people who have interacted with him. The news came from the family, so it couldn't be wrong. Sheng Tian smiled. Nailin Yanran heaved a sigh of relief. Previously, Lin Xian had given her too much fear. However, when she heard that he had no future, she was secretly delighted. In other words, even though the other party was powerful now, she would be able to catch up to him in the future. She might even be able to trample on him. However, that was a matter for the future. Right now, she was still worried. Nailin Yanran said, "Senior brother, he killed a demonic expert." That demonic expert was stronger than the unaccompanied Six Paths junior sister. Don't worry. I've thought about this matter. You were uneasy when you were being chased, so you lost your ability to judge things. According to my speculation, the unaccompanied Six Paths and the unaccompanied Six Paths were injured. However, the unaccompanied Six Paths suffered external injuries, while the demonic expert suffered internal injuries. At that time, the unaccompanied Six Paths was forcefully holding on for the sake of deterrence. And at this time, Lin Xian might have discovered this problem. So he jumped out and used some of his strength to kill the demonic experts. He was just taking advantage of the situation. It could be said that he was taking advantage of the situation. If the unaccompanied Six Paths hadn't attacked first, he wouldn't have been able to defeat the demonic expert. If he met the demonic expert in a head-on battle, he would definitely die. Junior sister, you can even suppress him. Have some confidence. However, I'm still afraid. Nailin Yanran was nervous. Sheng Tian grabbed Nailin Yanran's hand and said, "Junior sister, don't worry. If he really dares to come, I'll help you." There was a hint of arrogance in his eyes. His strength was terrifying. In addition, he was the personal disciple of an elder, and his master was an elder of the heavenly sect. He could do whatever he wanted in the heavenly sect. Therefore, he didn't care about Lin Xian at all. "Are you talking about Lin Xian?" Qing Feng walked over and asked. So it was Fairy Feng. Sheng Tian also stood up and smiled. "Fairy Feng, do you know Lin Xian?" Qing Feng shook her head. She didn't know him, but she had seen him a few times. That's good. Since Lin Xian dared to threaten junior sister Yanran, I won't let him off. Qing Feng was stunned. Won't let Lin Xian off. She knew that Sheng Tian was strong, but how strong could he be? He was only on par with them. She had seen Lin Xian's strength before. He had completely suppressed her, and by Li Fei. How could Sheng Tian fight against such a person? She was also acquainted with Sheng Tian. Just as she was about to persuade him, a cry came from the front. Countless rays of light danced in the air. Sheng Tian smiled. "Junior sister Yanran, come quickly. This is the gift I've prepared for you." There was an orchid blooming in front of them. It shone with a cold light. It was beautiful. Sheng Tian pulled Nailin Yanran to the front and said, "This is called the Dark Night Orchid. It blooms once every 800 years. I found it especially for you. Today we'll witness its blooming." It was so beautiful. Nailin Yanran finally smiled. It seemed that the threat of Lin Xian had disappeared. With Sheng Tian and her family's support, how could he threaten her? Chapter 48-44. Qing Feng shook her head and sighed as she looked at the scene. How could Nailin Yanran still be smiling? Did she really think that the sacred sky could protect her? At this moment, another tall figure walked to Qing Feng's side. It was Bai Li Fei. Bai Li Fei said, "Lin Xian would not let this go." Qing Feng nodded. That was true. Lin Xian even dared to challenge the Dragon Palace, not to mention the Nailin family. A storm was about to break out. "Aren't you going to persuade her?" Bai Li Fei said. Qing Feng shook her head. "Do you think it would be useful for me to persuade her?" They had heard a little about Nailin Yanran. Since Nailin Yanran had seen Lin Xian's strength with her own eyes, how could they persuade her now? Some of the geniuses laughed beside Sheng Tian and Nailin Yanran. "Fairy Yanran, no matter what difficulties you have, you can tell Sheng Tian." Xingtian would definitely be able to defeat everything. That was for sure. Xingtian's master was an elder of the heavenly sect. Moreover, we will support Fairy Yanran. Naylin Yanran was relieved when she heard this. No matter how strong Lin Xian was, would he be able to fight against the people around her? The smile on her face became even more beautiful. She was admiring the dark orchids in front of her. Dao's sect got a bode. The toad jumped over and said, "Kid, I have news about Naylin Yanran." "Where is she?" Lin Xian opened his eyes. A month had passed. There was no need for him to hold back. The toad said Moon Spirit Valley. This is the mark on the map. He sent out a ray of light, and it turned into a map of the ancient city. Lin Xian looked at it and nodded. He then soared into the sky. His speed was extremely fast. He even summoned the void beast to open a space tunnel, allowing him to teleport. In the blink of an eye, he disappeared. Was the Moon Spirit Valley in front of him? Lin Xian stood in the sky and was shocked when he saw the immortal flying under the moon. It was truly a mystical place. It had been a month, and they were still in the mood to play here without giving him 3 world cores. It seemed that the other party had made up his mind not to give it to him. Lin Xian descended and walked towards the Moon Spirit Valley in big strides. "Stop, who are you? Do you have an invitation?" There were a few hundred figures outside the Moon Spirit Valley. These were the battle servants brought by the geniuses inside. They're outside, responsible for the safety of the whole valley. When they saw Lin Xian walking toward them, the 2 battle servants immediately went up to him and said coldly, "I don't have an invitation, but I do have this." Lin Xian's eyes blossomed with an extremely terrifying radiance. In an instant, the 2 battle servants' bodies shook, and confusion appeared in their eyes. With a plop, he fell to his knees. "Not good, the enemy is attacking." Several hundred battle servants shouted angrily, wanting to attack. However, Lin Xian activated his eye technique with all his might. Samsara Spring and Autumn, between heaven and earth, a pair of golden eyes looked down. The battle servants felt a huge impact on their souls. "Not good. Close your eyes. Don't look." It was an illusion. They wanted to roar, but no sound came out. Even if they closed their eyes, it was useless. Lin Xian directly attacked their souls. The few hundred battle servants were all enveloped, and their souls entered an illusion world. There, they would be reincarnated 100 times. The battle servants stood there, turning into statues, their eyes filled with pain. Lin Xian casually walked past these people, and no one was able to stop him. Just like that, he entered the valley. There were quite a few people inside, and each of them had a powerful aura. Lin Xian's eyes flickered with a golden radiance, and he instantly stared at Naylin Yanran. The next moment, he smiled. "Fairy Naylin, you're in a good mood. Didn't your grandfather say that you were out on a mission? What? You have time to admire the flowers here." Lin Xian's voice wasn't loud, but it clearly reached everyone's ears. Immediately, many people were surprised and turned around. Naylin Yanran's pupils constricted, her body trembled, and the smile on her face froze. Did he find her? Sacred Sky frowned when he saw this scene. He turned around, and a cold radiance burst out from his eyes. Dozens of large cracks appeared in the sky. He looked at Lin Xian. In an instant, everyone in the valley looked over. "It's this kid. Who is he? Is he here to pursue Naylin Yanran? Does he want to compete with Sacred Sky?" Ridiculous. Lin Xian ignored these discussions and walked towards Naylin Yanran. "Stop. Who are you? You don't look familiar. We didn't invite you." A man in purple armor shouted coldly. "You have guts? You dare to barge into the Moon Spirit Valley?" "Men!" He shouted loudly, but after waiting for a long time, no one rushed in. This surprised him. The others were also in an uproar. What's going on? Where are the battle servants outside? They all summoned them, but found that not a single battle servant came in. Everyone was stunned. Could it be that this kid did it? They all stared at Lin Xian. Lin Xian said, "Don't be nervous. I'm not here for you, I'm here for her." Nailin Yanran. Fairy Nailin, do you still remember our agreement? What agreement? Brat, don't speak without thinking. Xing Tian also stepped forward and said, coldly. Lin Xian ignored him. Nailin Yanran, you promised to give me 3 world cores when I saved you. Are you going back on your word now? 3 world cores! Countless people were shocked. This was a shocking amount of wealth. Everyone was stunned. To be honest, they knew that something had happened to Nailin Yanran and that it was settled. But they didn't know the details. So they had never heard of the agreement of 3 world cores. Now that Lin Xian said it, they were all shocked. No way! Fairy Nailin really agreed to give him 3 world cores? What a joke! Who was this kid? Was he trying to extort her? How could Nailin Yanran agree to such an unreasonable request? Nailin Yanran's face became incomparably pale. Ever since she found out that her grandfather had rejected Lin Xian, she had been worried that Lin Xian would come looking for her. She didn't expect that it would finally happen today. Would she really be able to stop him? At this moment, Sacred Sky held her hand and smiled. Don't worry, I'm here. He walked out with a gloomy expression. Kid, I don't know who you are, but with your status, how could you know Yanran? It's even more impossible for her to agree to give you 3 world cores. I suspect that you're just here to cause trouble. Do you think Yanran is someone you can provoke? Men, get him out. I don't want an ant here to ruin Yanran's good mood. A cold voice sounded with killing intent. Chapter 48-45. The purple-robed man walked out and said coldly, Kid, did you hear that? Get lost. Today, young Master Xingtian invited all the top geniuses. You are just an ant, and you don't have the right to be here. Lin Xian stared at the purple-robed man and laughed. Others might not know, but someone like you is worthy of being called a top genius? Since when were the top geniuses so cheap? Kid, are you challenging me? Do you want to die? Feng Mo's body emitted a cold, killing intent, and the surrounding space cracked. Lin Xian looked at the other party and laughed. Are you from the Sky Sect? If Kun Pengzi was here, he would have the right to say that. But you don't have the right to be arrogant in front of me. Lin Xian's eyes exploded with a terrifying light as he used his eye technique. Feng Mo's pupils shrank as he felt his soul being torn apart. His entire face was contorted with rage. Damn it, he was too careless. He didn't expect Lin Xian's soul to be so strong. He wanted to resist, but it was too late. A powerful soul will press down on his soul, causing him to kneel on the ground with a thud. The ground was blasted into pieces, and countless cracks appeared. Lin Xian's lips curled up as he looked ahead. Oh, aren't you a top-notch genius? Why are you kowtowing to me? Aren't you being too polite? Ah, Feng Mo was so angry that he vomited blood. He gritted his teeth and roared. Damn, kid! How dare you sneak attack me with your soul? Go to hell! He waved his hand, and a bolt of purple lightning flew out from his sleeves. It turned into a purple qilin and charged towards Lin Xian. Lin Xian sneered and didn't move. When the purple lightning arrived, he stretched out 2 fingers and pinched it. With a crack, the terrifying lightning shattered. Lin Xian pointed forward. Light of the demon god. The black light seemed to come from the demon world and directly pierced through Feng Mo's head. Feng Mo's body was torn apart, and his soul was nailed to the ground. In the blink of an eye, Feng Mo was severely injured. The surrounding people's faces changed, especially those beside Xingtian. They all shouted in anger. Brat, are you courting death? Another figure walked out. This person's body was surrounded by terrifying flames. How dare you attack my Sky Sect? You must be tired of living. His palm turned into a flaming, heavenly steel and pressed down on Lin Xian. Lin Xian flicked his finger, and another ray of demonic light flew out of the flames. The heavenly steel shattered, and that person spat out large mouthfuls of blood as if he was struck by lightning. The reincarnation steel. Lin Xian used his eye technique, and a heavenly soul steel appeared to suppress him. With a plop, the man fell to his knees again, his body trembling. The others were shocked. Their bodies stopped in midair. The other party was too terrifying. Lin Xian didn't let the two of them go either. Wherever his gaze passed, their souls burned. One by one, they were sent flying while vomiting blood. The surrounding people were stunned. This kid was too strong. With just a few simple moves, he had seriously injured the experts of the Sky Sect. Neilin Yanran's pupils shrank. How strong! She felt that Lin Xian was even more terrifying than before. She was regretting it now. Perhaps she should have given him 3 hearts of the world. However, this was her grandfather's decision. Moreover, she had indeed gone back on her word. She didn't know what to do now. Lin Xian stepped on the people who were kneeling on the ground and stomped their heads into the ground. Then he came to Neilin Yanran and smiled. I'll ask you one last time. Are you going to give me 3 hearts of the world? Me. Neilin Yanran was conflicted. She didn't want to give it to him, but she was afraid. Beside her, Sheng Tian stood in front of Neilin Yanran and said, Brat, you're too arrogant. Today is my banquet. Yet you injured my men the moment you arrived. Are you looking down on the Sky Sect's reputation? Now, kneel on the ground and kowtow. If I'm in a good mood, I might spare your life. Also, you'd better disappear from Neilin Yanran's sight. She's not someone you can challenge. Sheng Tian looked down at Lin Xian. Lin Xian glanced at him and asked, Who do you think you are? Tell me your name. I won't kill a nameless person. I'm Sheng Tian. Lin Xian frowned as he stared at the Holy Heavens clan. How dare you? Someone beside him shouted. Sheng Tian was an expert on the Xian ranking. He was a top genius and the personal disciple of the Sky Sect's elder. How could an ant like you compare to his status? Someone snorted from afar. Lin Xian didn't even turn his head as he threw out the 6-path strike. This punch seemed to be able to cause the world to reincarnate. The person who spoke turned into a bloody mist. This time, not even his soul was left behind. His body and soul were destroyed. The surrounding people felt their scalps go numb. They were all terrified. This guy was too arrogant. He killed a genius with a single punch. Lin Xian retracted his fist and shouted coldly, Some people just don't understand what I'm saying. If you're not convinced, you can continue to be arrogant in front of me. I'll send you to hell. At this moment, Lin Xian was extremely domineering. How dare you kill him? Sheng Tian was completely enraged. His eyes seemed to be spitting fire. Lin Xian said coldly, So you're from the Sheng Tian clan, but you're not qualified to be arrogant in front of me. Even the clan leader of the Sheng Tian clan has to give me some face in front of me, let alone you. Get lost. If you dare to stop me again, I'll send you to hell. Countless people were shocked. Sheng Tian went crazy. Lin Xian didn't even put the clan leader of the Sheng Tian clan in his eyes. Preposterous. Neilin Yanran, step back. I'll suppress him. Sheng Tian was really angry. Be careful. He's very strong. Neilin Yanran was extremely nervous. The others also stepped back. Sheng Tian's face was cold. Neilin Yanran, don't worry. No matter how strong he is, he won't be able to defeat me. After saying that, he waved his hand and slapped out. A heavenly diagram appeared on his palm. It was the heavenly diagram. It seemed like he was going to kill Lin Xian. Lin Xian punched out with his left fist. 6-path fists. His fist was unstoppable. Not only did it have the physique of the 9-yang divine body, but it also had the terrifying power of the 6-path fists. Countless people were shocked. They didn't know what the outcome would be. Some people said that Sheng Tian's killing intent was the ultimate technique of his clan. The heavenly diagram could seal the heavens and earth. Lin Xian couldn't resist it. In the next instant, the two collided. Tian had thought that Lin Xian wouldn't die if he attacked. But when his fist collided with Lin Xian's, he regretted it. Lin Xian's fist was too terrifying. It was like a fist god. His entire palm trembled, and it felt like his body was going to split apart. Damn it! I don't believe it. Suppress him! Tian roared as his right palm bloomed. Endless great Tao descended. But Lin Xian's fist was like a blazing sun. It instantly shattered his palm. Chapter 48-46. The sage sky map shattered and sage blood dripped down. Many people's eyes almost popped out of their sockets. This was completely different from what they had expected. Tian's face was even more ferocious. He quickly retreated, and his palm returned to normal. Good lad, I have underestimated you. I didn't expect you to have such a strong physique. However, you have underestimated me. Let me show you what a true expert is. Tian roared. Boundless light shone from his back and formed a sky map. Das danced on it. The entire area became oppressive. Everyone felt that their souls and blood were about to be sealed. It was terrifying. They tried their best to retreat. In the distance, Qing Feng and Bai Lifei's eyes flickered. Lin Xian is here again. Bai Lifei clenched his fists. That punch was too terrifying. Lin Xian's strength has increased too much. I have no confidence in winning. Previously, Bai Lifei had lost to Lin Xian twice. Naturally, he had to cultivate crazily. Now that his strength had increased, he wanted to challenge Lin Xian again. However, when he saw Lin Xian's punch, his confidence was shattered. Qing Feng smiled wryly. Why did she feel that this guy was so strange? How did he increase his strength? Even as a member of the Phoenix race, she didn't have the right to face Lin Xian. She sighed. Tian was going to be in trouble. When the surrounding people heard Qing Feng's words, they were stunned. Tian was going to be in trouble? How is that possible? Given Tian's strength, even if he was injured previously, it must have been due to carelessness. Now that he had used his full strength, how could he lose to Lin Xian? Tian turned into a bolt of lightning and carried the sky map on his back. He took a step forward and the earth shook. Seal! His palms formed a seal, and the sky map behind him surged out. It carried an ancient and mysterious aura. Countless seals appeared around Lin Xian. He felt that the space around him was solidifying and was about to be completely suppressed. His body shook, and he used the heavenly walk step. He disappeared in a flash of light. His original location was sealed, and he had appeared in another location. The six-path fists attacked. It's useless. You're no match for me. Sacred sky was emotionless, and the sky diagram behind him shone even brighter. He actually dared to attack head-on. When he saw Lin Xian charging straight at him, he didn't even try to dodge. His heavenly map descended and transformed into 16 heavenly steels. He wanted to suppress them in one fell swoop. 6 paths reincarnation. Lin Xian brandished his fists continuously, displaying an indomitable will. Boom! The 16 heavenly steels shook violently. Cracks appeared on them, and they suddenly split apart. How could this be? Countless people were terrified. Tiankong spat out a mouthful of blood as he was sent flying, his expression extremely ugly. He had already done his best, yet he was still unable to do anything to the other party? Light of the demon god. Lin Xian spread out his 10 fingers, releasing a terrifying demonic light. Holy Sky used all of its power to block half of the attack. However, the other half pierced through his body. Half of his body shattered and turned into a bloody mist. Lin Xian took a step forward and arrived in front of Nalin Yanran like a bolt of lightning. I've already given you many chances, but you still don't repent. Since that's the case, don't blame me for being impolite. What do you want? Nailin Yanran was terrified. She didn't even have the courage to attack. Lin Xian said coldly, I saved your life back then, and I can take your life today. Your life is in my hands, not the heavens. With that, Lin Xian attacked with lightning speed. Damn it! Nailin Yanran roared and attacked crazily, striking out with a peerless attack. However, it was useless in front of Lin Xian. Boom! A piercing sword light appeared in Lin Xian's eyes, directly splitting apart all the divine abilities. A black jar appeared in his hand. It floated up and down and directly swallowed Nailin Yanran. No way Nailin Yanran was suppressed in an instant. Countless people were shocked. Lin Xian's methods were too terrifying. Damn it, let Nailin Yanran go. Xingtian roared. He had already recovered his physique, and he attacked again. This time he took out a scroll, and an extremely terrifying great Tao bloomed on it. Could it be the sacred weapon of the Sacred Heavens clan, the Heavenly Map? Countless people were shocked. No, it was a replica of a sacred weapon, and its power was no weaker than a great sage weapon. It seemed that this time he was going to use his trump card. With such a weapon, he wouldn't be defeated again. Xingtian's expression was ferocious as he used the Heavenly Map to attack. The power of the Heavenly Map was several times stronger than before. Lin Xian's face was completely gloomy. He put away the heaven-devouring jar, and his eyes were filled with terrifying killing intent. I've already spared you several times on account of you being from the Sacred Heavens clan, but you still don't repent. Since that's the case, I'll send you to hell. Lin Xian waved his hand, and a dragon-shaped sword shadow appeared. Slash! With a slash, the power in his body disappeared instantly. This slash was enough to split the heavens and earth. The entire Moon Spirit Valley shook nonstop. Countless people were terrified. After the slash, the Heavenly Map was split into two. Xingtian's body stopped in place, and his eyes were wide open. The light was disappearing. He couldn't believe it. You dare to kill me? He spat out a few words with difficulty, and then his body split apart. Was he dead? Countless people were stunned. That was Xingtian. He was a top genius of the Sacred Heavens clan, and the personal disciple of an elder of the heavenly sect. Even if other great sages could defeat Xingtian, they wouldn't dare to kill him. But now, the kid in front of them didn't hold back at all and directly destroyed Xingtian. Wasn't he afraid of the Sacred Heavens clan's revenge? Wasn't he afraid of being punished by an elder of the heavenly sect? However, Lin Xian wasn't afraid at all. He put away the dragon-shaped sword shadow and said coldly. He told the fifth elder of the Nailin clan that if he wanted Nailin Yanran's life, he would have to offer 30 world cores. As soon as he finished speaking, Lin Xian leaped up and disappeared from the world. The surrounding people went crazy. Didn't he say 3 before? Why did it become 30 now? Qing Feng sighed. Since he dared to provoke Lin Xian, he had to pay 10 times the price. Everyone's scalps went numb. Someone looked at Qing Feng and said, Fairy Feng, you seem to know this person very well. Who is he? How can he be so powerful? Countless people were terrified. Those from the heavenly sect also gritted their teeth. They looked at Xingtian's body, and their scalps went numb. They knew that a huge storm was coming. They had to find out who exactly that brat was. Qing Feng said, Don't you know? He is Lin Xian of the True Path sect. Previously, he had challenged the Dragon Palace, killed the Dragon Prince's clone, and established the Divine Union to compete with the Dragon Palace. He was Lin Xian. This guy had such a shocking battle record. Countless people sucked in cold air. Where did he come from? Why did it feel like he had appeared out of thin air? Qing Feng took a deep breath and said solemnly, he came from planet Xiwan, and he used to have a nickname, Invincible Lin. Chapter 48-47. Lin Wudi. This name was too arrogant. Who in the world dared to call themselves invincible? However, when they thought of what Lin Wudi had done, they were terrified. He even dared to kill the disciple of a heavenly sect elder. How could he not be arrogant? The heavenly sect members gritted their teeth. Lin Wudi of the True Path sect. We will remember this. They quickly left with Xingtian's body. The others also left the Moon Spirit Valley and went their separate ways. The news spread quickly, and many people were shocked. Someone dared to do such an arrogant thing. Was he tired of living? He killed the disciple of a heavenly sect elder. He suppressed the #1 genius of the Nayland family. What else did he want? In an instant, many people were investigating. When the Nayland family heard the news, they were stunned. Nayland Yanran was suppressed by Lin Xian, and he took her away. Damn it! Nayland Yanran's father roared crazily. The fifth elder's face darkened. He had thought of many possibilities. He had thought that Lin Xian would come knocking on their door directly. However, he had never thought that Lin Xian would dare to attack Nayland Yanran. Wasn't he afraid of his anger? This kid might just be threatening us. He wouldn't dare to do it, an expert beside him said. The others nodded in agreement. However, when they heard that Lin Xian had killed Xingtian, their faces turned green. Their hair stood on end. The fifth elder roared crazily. No, we have to find Yanran's whereabouts. Xingtian's status was even more terrifying than Nayland Yanran's. If Lin Xian could kill such a person, Nayland Yanran would be even more so. If they really angered Lin Xian, he would not show mercy. Therefore, they had to find Lin Xian quickly. The eighth elder also gasped when he heard the news. Wasn't this a little too unwise? Suppressing Nayland Yanran was understandable. However, killing Xingtian would offend the heavenly sect. Nayland Liang sighed. He did not say anything. However, he knew that Lin Xian had a nickname, Mad God. How could he be afraid of killing Xingtian? If he dared to challenge the Dragon Prince, why would he be afraid of an elder of the Sky Sect? For a time, the entire Holy Abyss ancient city was talking about this matter. This was because Lin Xian was too shocking. The elders couldn't find Fairy Yanran. He couldn't find the kid's whereabouts. A series of reports could be heard coming from the fifth elder's residence. The fifth elder's face was gloomy and cold. He shattered the void with a punch. Damn it, Nayland Yanran's father asked. Were they really going to give that brat 3 world cores? What kind of joke was this? The experts at the side roared in anger. If they were threatened by a brat, they would obediently give it up. Would they still have the face to go out in the future? He would definitely become the laughingstock of the world. The fifth elder said through gritted teeth. Spread the news that we're willing to give him 3 world cores in exchange for Yanran. However, we will secretly mobilize our men and set up an inescapable net. I'll make a trip to the Sky Sect to see Elder Tianshui. Xing Tiankong is his personal disciple, and now that he's been killed, I refuse to believe that he won't be enraged. If we can get Elder Tianshui to take action, who cares if he's a genius? No matter how strong a genius is, he'll be suppressed. Let's go. The fifth elder waved his hand, and the experts under him moved. At the same time, he was also preparing to head to the Sky Sect. After the people from the Sky Sect returned, they spread the news. The entire Sky Sect was in an uproar. What a mistake! Lin Xian from the True Path Sect is too arrogant. How dare he kill a genius from the Sky Sect? Does he really think that the Sky Sect is a pushover? Let's go to the True Path Sect. We'll get them to give us an explanation. The people from the Sky Sect were infuriated, especially those from the Tianshui Pavilion. The Tianshui Pavilion was established by a group of top geniuses with Elder Tianshui as their backer. Xing Tiankong was one of them. At this moment, these people were rushing to the True Path Sect. Lin Xian, come out and die. Kneel down and kowtow. Roars and shouts of anger could be heard. When the people from the True Path Sect found out, they were also in an uproar. How dare that Lin Xian be so arrogant? The people from the Dragon Palace sneered. On the Divine Union's side, the Crimson Dragon, Fu Hongya, and the others frowned when they heard the news. However, they weren't afraid because they had already made preparations. Baisusu also walked over and said, "Let's go and meet them." The people from the Divine Union walked out. When the people from the True Path sect saw this, countless people followed. They wanted to see how this matter would develop. Baisusu walked out and shouted coldly, "What? How dare the Sky sect act so arrogantly in the True Path sect? Do you think that there's no one in the True Path sect? Where's Lin Xian? Tell him to come out and die. He dared to kill Xing Tiankong. He's dead meat. No one can save him." Baisusu sneered. She asked, "You said that Lin Xian killed Xing Tiankong? Then let me ask you, did the two of them fight one-on-one? At that time, the people from the Sky sect didn't bully him with their numbers, right?" The people from the Sky sect snorted. How could that be? Of course, it was a one-on-one battle. Baisusu smiled. A one-on-one battle. How could the Sky sect still have the face to come here? When two top-notch geniuses fought, if one side fell, it would be because their skills were inferior. Why? Weren't the Sky sect ashamed to come here? It wasn't as if the elders had killed him. This could only mean that Lin Xian was strong and Shang Tiankong was an ant. Could it be that the Sky sect wanted to touch the geniuses of the True Path sect? Ask the elders of the Tao-seeking sect if they agreed. The surrounding people were also in an uproar. How could this be? Lin Xian had actually killed Sheng Tiankong one-on-one? They were all stunned. At first, they had thought that Lin Xian would join forces with the people from the Divine Union. Now, it seemed that this wasn't the case. If that was the case, things would be different. Some people from the True Path sect snorted. The Sky sect was just SOO. Xing Tiankong was on the Xian roll, but he couldn't even beat Lin Xian. The Sky sect must be on the decline. Damn it! The people from the Sky sect gritted their teeth. They knew that they wouldn't get anything today, so they gritted their teeth and said, "Just you wait. The Sky sect won't let this matter rest." Baisusu and the others also returned. She hurried to the core area to contact her father. She was afraid that the elders of the Sky sect would secretly make a move. On the other side, the Nalan family also announced that they were willing to exchange 3 realm cores for Nalan Yanran. In an instant, countless people exclaimed and looked for Lin Xian. Lin Xian seemed to have disappeared after killing Sheng Tiankong and suppressing Nalan Yanran. Moon Spirit Valley. There was a small black vortex inside. There was an independent space within the vortex where 2 figures stood. One of them was Lin Xian. No one expected that he hadn't left at all. He was still in the Moon Spirit Valley. This space had been opened by the Void Beast, and Nalan Yanran was standing opposite him. Nalan Yanran's face was extremely pale. She gritted her teeth and said, "What do you want? I advise you not to do anything to me. Otherwise, the Nalan family won't let you off." Chapter 48:48. Lin Xian smiled. "I just received news that your grandfather is willing to exchange 3 world cores with you." Hearing this, Nalan Yanran heaved a sigh of relief. "Then what are you waiting for? Hurry up and exchange." She didn't want to stay by Lin Xian's side. Lin Xian sneered. "How could it be so simple? Do you think I'm so easy to bully? First you were grateful, then you betrayed me. If I was weaker, I probably wouldn't have gotten anything. Now it's not like 3 world cores can calm my anger. I'll make you pay back 10 times. Nalan Yanran's body trembled, and despair appeared in her eyes. Pay back 10 times? How could her grandfather take out 30 world cores? What else did she want to say? However, Lin Xian directly used the heaven-devouring jar to seal her up, and then left Moon Spirit Valley. Soon, Lin Xian appeared in front of the sacred Abyss Tower. The news spread in an instant, and countless people gathered. The people of Nalan Yanran's faction also hurried over. Nalan Yanran's father shouted angrily, "Kid, where's Yanran? If you dare to hurt her, I'll destroy your soul. Lin Xian sneered. Where's the thing? Nalin Yenran's father, Nalin K, said coldly. The 3 world cores are with me. Let Yenran out first, or you can forget about getting it. Lin Xian laughed. 3 world cores? Not enough. How did you treat me before? I'll make you pay back 10 times. Hearing this, the surrounding people's faces changed. Nalin K's pupils shrank. Pay back 10 times? Is this kid crazy? Are you trying to extort me? His eyes were filled with killing intent. The surrounding people were also filled with killing intent. Lin Xian sneered. Can't take it out? Since you can't take it out, why did you have to be so black-hearted? If you were a little kinder to me, today's situation wouldn't have happened. Of course, I can give you another chance. If you can't take out 10 times the world cores, then give me 3 world cores. At the same time, Nalin Yenran, you and that 5th elder all have to kowtow and apologize to me. Furthermore, it was done in front of everyone in the world. Was Lin Xian a pushover? What kind of joke was this? How many terrifying existences had he battled along the way? Today, if the Nalin family didn't pay a painful price, his anger wouldn't be appeased. Brat, do you want to die? I'll fulfill your wish. Nalin Quechin stepped out and roared towards the sky. Whether it was the first condition or the second, he could not agree to either. Lin Xian said, Why? You want to fight? Sure, a battle of life and death. We signed a life and death contract. Nalin K gritted his teeth and prepared to fight to the death. To be honest, he couldn't figure out where the other party's confidence came from. Could it be that he was even more powerful than the 6 Paths cultivator? You don't dare? Lin Xian sneered. You're also an ant. Go back and tell the 5th elder to kneel down and kowtow to me in apology. Damn it. Nalin K was so angry that he wanted to vomit blood. The members of the Nalin family were also roaring. However, no one dared to act rashly in this place. This brat was too cunning. They were incomparably depressed. They were already close to the Holy Abyss Tower. If they acted here, they would be challenging the Holy Abyss Tower and would be killed by the divine generals. However, they didn't leave. They couldn't let this brat escape again. There were other onlookers in the Holy Abyss ancient city. They were all discussing. This was the first time they saw such an arrogant and bold young man. At this moment, the sound of killing shook the sky in the distance. It was as if thousands of thunderbolts had descended. Lin Xian Dai, the people nearby exclaimed. The people of the heavenly sect were here. This was going to be a good show. The heavenly sect was in existence even more terrifying than the Nalin family. They were one of the 3 great orthodoxies. The top genius of the heavenly sect, Shang Tian Tian, had died in the hands of Lin Xian. They would definitely not let this go. Brat, let's see how you're going to die. The members of the Nalin family gritted their teeth and sneered. Lin Xian stood with his hands behind his back. He didn't care. So what if you're from the heavenly sect? The people of the heavenly sect in front of him were filled with killing intent. They shouted coldly, Little Zhang, get over here and die. Lin Xian sneered. Why? Can't the heavenly sect afford to lose? I'll fight Shang Tian Tian one-on-one. It's a fair fight. My cultivation is 1 realm lower than his. I killed him with my own strength. What's wrong with that? Those of the younger generation of the heavenly sect who have the strength to kill me, come out. If I die in battle, I won't complain. Who dares to fight with me? Lin Xian took a step forward. His voice was like thunder, shaking the surroundings. A terrifying sword intent rushed out of his body. His finger was like a sword ray, pointing forward. You dare? The people of the Sky sect were stunned and stood there in a daze. Dare they? They knew the strength of Shang Tian Tian. He was an expert on the profound ranking, the personal disciple of an elder, had many trump cards, and even had the bloodline of the heavenly sect. Even so, he still died. Could they be a match for him? Although the person in front of them was arrogant, his strength was equally terrifying. You're really arrogant. You killed my junior brother. You can't escape death today. A cold voice sounded in the distance. But in an instant, a figure appeared in front of everyone. Countless people looked over and were shocked. It was actually him. The people of the heavenly sect also smiled. Senior brother Yi Chen, that's great. He's here. The people of the Tianshui pavilion of the heavenly sect walked up. Senior brother Yi Chen, please suppress that kid. Yes, he's too arrogant. The person who came was called Yi Chen. He was also a genius of the heavenly sect and the personal disciple of Elder Tianshui. Moreover, he was the senior brother of Sheng Tian. He was even stronger than Sheng Tian. After he arrived, he stared coldly at Lin Xian. Come out, kid. Unless you stay under the Holy Gulf Tower for the rest of your life, you can't escape death. Lin Xian sneered. You're the senior brother of Sheng Tian. Are you going to stand up for him? Well then, do you dare to have a life and death battle? Why wouldn't I dare? Yi Chen took a step forward. He also exuded an extremely terrifying killing intent. In a life and death battle, life and death were up to fate. It was best to kill him on the battlefield. The surrounding people exclaimed. It was unbelievable that the two sides were going to have a life and death battle. People like Yi Chen were rare geniuses. If one of them died, the loss would be unimaginable. Under normal circumstances, they would definitely not have a life and death battle, but now they had agreed. Okay, in 3 days, you and I will have a life and death battle. Lin Xian's sonorous voice spread in all directions. Yi Chen was not afraid. As you wish. I will personally avenge junior brother Xingtian. The news quickly spread. Countless people were in an uproar. Let's go and take a look. This kind of battle was extremely shocking. Firstly, they wanted to see who the legendary arrogant Lin Xian was. Secondly, they had come because of his reputation. Yi Chen was more famous than Sheng Tian. He had not fought for many years. Now, what level had his strength reached? The entire Holy Gulf ancient city could be said to be in turmoil because of Lin Xian's every move. Chapter 48-49. The news quickly spread to the Dao sect. The people in the Dao sect were also shocked and went to watch the battle. Lin Xian was a famous person now. The Crimson Dragon and the others in the Divine Union also received Lin Xian's message. Bai Susu went to the core area to invite her father. The Levitation Saint came to witness the battle. The Levitation Saint was also emotional. He had just met Lin Xian, and he had not expected this little guy to cause such a stir. To be honest, he was also shocked. Both the Nalan family and the Heaven sect were huge forces. Lin Xian was not afraid at all. This courage was very rare. He naturally would not refuse, so he immediately went to the Holy Gulf Tower. The Heaven sect also received the news, and many people were shocked. When Leaf Dao Denier heard this, he was just as surprised as Yang Qi. Smiling, he shook his head and prepared to watch the fight. On a mountain peak, there was a chessboard under an ancient pine tree. 2 old men were playing chess. One of them had brown hair and was wearing white robes. It was Elder Tianshui. Opposite him was Nalan Yanran's grandfather, the 5th elder. The 5th elder asked, Brother Tianshui, are you really not going to do anything? Elder Tianshui shook his head. Although I am very angry, he is just a young junior. If I attack him directly, wouldn't I become the laughingstock of the world? However, don't worry, I won't let him off. I have already sent my other personal disciple, Yi Chen. He is the senior brother of the Sacred Sky sect and is even stronger. He will be able to resolve everything. Indeed, before long, the immortal crane flew over and transformed into a human. It knelt on one knee in the void and reported to its master that news of young master Yi Chen had arrived. In 3 days, he and Lin Xian would engage in a battle to the death. Elder Tianxue sneered. He waved his sleeve, and the immortal crane retreated. He looked at the fifth elder and said, there was no problem. Lin Xian would definitely die in a battle to the death. It was obvious that he had great confidence in Yi Chen. The fifth elder also heaved a sigh of relief. With young master Yi Chen taking action, there would be no problem. Daoist Tianxue, why don't we watch it together and be witnesses? A cold, murderous intent appeared in Elder Tian Shui's eyes. Even though Xing Tian had only joined him recently, he was still his disciple. Killing his disciple was equivalent to slapping his face. He also wanted to see how capable this Lin Xian was. How dare he be so arrogant? In 3 days, the news spread everywhere. Countless people rushed over. For example, the people from the Dao Sect's Dragon Palace laughed coldly and came to watch. Lan Jiu and other members of the Blue clan also looked ferocious. They also had a grudge against Lin Sun, so they wanted to see him die with their own eyes. There was no need to mention the people from the Sky Sect and Tianxue Pavilion. The people from the Nalan family had also come. Even Nalan Liang, the eighth elder, and the others were watching anxiously. Was there really no problem? On the other side, the members of the Dugu clan were also shocked when they received the news. Lin Xian was their benefactor. Dugu Xiao Yi, Old Man Dugu, and the others all rushed over. They wanted to see it with their own eyes. If Lin Xian was really in danger, their clan would definitely do something about it. On the other side, the Fire Dragon clan and Fire Dragon Lady also came. Qing Feng by Li Fei and the others all rushed over. In an instant, the clouds gathered from all directions. By Susu, the Crimson Dragon, Fu Hongya, and the others also came. The Feather Saint came to Lin Xian's side. Lin Xian stood up and cupped his fists. Greetings, Senior. Sorry for disturbing you this time. The Feather Saint said, It's fine. It's nothing. But are you really confident? Lin Xian smiled. If Sheng Tian's master was here, he might be able to threaten me. But he's just a senior brother. I don't care about him. The Feather Saint was also shocked. He had heard of Yi Chen's reputation. He was extremely terrifying among the young geniuses. Was Lin Xian too careless? However, he had also heard of other legends about Lin Xian. He was definitely not weak, since he could kill Xing Tian. In the ancient city, there was a primordial battlefield that specialized in life and death battles. The Feather Saint brought Lin Xian to the primordial battlefield. The others also followed. Countless people had already gathered around the primordial battlefield. Yi Chen stood with his hands behind his back. He looked calm and didn't care about this life and death battle at all. Beside him, the people from Tianxue Pavilion and Nalan clan sneered. They couldn't wait to witness this battle. Not only that, Elder Tianxue and Fifth Elder also came. They sat high up in the clouds. On the other side, Eighth Elder and the others frowned. Lin Gongzi wasn't here yet? Just at this moment, someone exclaimed, They're here. Countless people looked over and saw 2 figures walking through the air. It was the Feather Saint and Lin Xian. After the Feather Saint arrived, he said loudly, Today I'm Lin Xian's witness. This is a life and death battle between Yi Chen and Lin Xian. No one else is allowed to interfere. If anyone secretly tries to kill Lin Xian, don't blame the Dao sect for being impolite. Countless people gasped. Although some people already knew that Lin Xian was from the immortal graveyard and had no future, but now he was still a dazzling genius. The Dao sect would definitely protect such a person. All right, little guy, go. The Feather Saint stood above the 9 heavens. Lin Xian's figure flashed and landed on the primordial battlefield below. He looked at Yi Chen and said, Come on. You can't wait to throw away your life, can you? Yi Chen opened his eyes. There was a terrifying blue light in his eyes. Then I'll fulfill your wish. Blue laws surrounded Yi Chen, forming a terrifying sea that tore through the void. The people in the distance exclaimed, Heavenly Spirit, holy water. Heavens! Did he really cultivate such a peerless, mystical ability to such an extent? Even those of the older generation sighed. This I Ching was truly incredible. Prepare to die. I Ching waved his hand. The heavenly spirit, holy water, turned into a huge blue sword and slashed down. I'll kill you in one move. The heavenly spirit, holy sword, slashed down mercilessly. Haha, that kid is dead for sure. The people from Tianshui Pavilion sneered. The people from the Nayland family were also excited. The people from the Blue family and the Dragon Palace also widened their eyes. You want to fight me with a mere sea? Lin Xian didn't make a move. He roared at the sky. Golden flames suddenly rose from his body and swept in all directions. In an instant, the sky and earth turned into a golden sea. It was as if thousands of suns had appeared together. The light turned into golden crows and swept in all directions. The moment the holy water fell into the sea of fire, it instantly evaporated, turning into white mist that drifted in all directions. This is your strength? How pitiful! If you only have this level of strength, I'm afraid you can't even break through my defense. Lin Xian was like a sun god looking down on all directions. Chapter 48-50. Countless people were shocked when they saw this. The heavenly spirit, holy sword, had been broken, and Lin Xian had done it without even making a move. He had done it with his aura alone. Heavens, what kind of physique is that? It's too terrifying. I Chen's face was full of shock. This was completely different from what he had imagined. Before he could come back to his senses, endless flames gathered on Lin Xian's body, forming a flaming sword that slashed down from the sky. You, have a taste of my swordsmanship. 9 suns opened the sky. The sword slashed down, splitting heaven and earth. How could it be so powerful? I Chen's face became extremely pale, and the seawater around him kept evaporating. Damn it! I can't block it. He suddenly retreated to the side and seemed to have dodged the sword. However, he was already in an extremely sorry state, and his hair was charred black. On the other side, Lin Xian held the divine sword in his hand, looking like a peerless sword god with unparalleled divine might. With this comparison, the difference in strength was obvious. The surrounding people were stunned. They had originally thought that it would be a fierce battle, and at least Lin Xian would be greatly suppressed. But now, it seemed that the situation was completely different. Damn it! How could this kid be so powerful? Could it be that he was more powerful than the 6 Paths itinerant cultivator? The 5th elder was dumbfounded. Elder Tianshui's face also darkened. Chen, don't be careless. Yes, master. I Ching turned his head and nodded solemnly. Then he looked at Lin Xian. I admit that I underestimated you. Next, I will use all of my strength. Prepare to go to hell. Heavenly water sword. He formed a blue divine sword again and held it in his hand. At the same time, a heavenly water armor appeared on his body. He looked like the god of the sea had been resurrected. Boundless heavenly water. The entire battlefield was enveloped by the blue laws and turned into monstrous water. Other than where Lin Xian was, there were rumbling sounds everywhere. Lin Xian was like a blazing sun, blocking all the attacks. The flaming divine, sword in his hand, attacked again. The entire sea was rolling, and a vacuum appeared. Nothing could stop Lin Xian. I Chan retreated again, bleeding. Her face was pale. Impossible! What kind of flame was this? Who are you? He roared crazily. Even Elder Tianshui in the sky stood up. His physique, could it be? He was too shocked. This was because this scene was very similar to a legendary starry sky, divine body. The others were also in an uproar. Even the feather saint was stunned. His eyes were emitting cold radiance. Could it be the 9-yang divine physique? His voice shocked countless people, causing their scalps to go numb. 9-yang divine body. Had the legendary starry sky, divine body, reappeared in the human world? This Lin Xian actually has the 9 yang divine body. No wonder he was so powerful. No wonder he was not afraid of the Skywada Saint sword. How could he have such a physique? Elder Tianshui's face turned pale. The heavenly water laws that he cultivated were most afraid of flames of extreme yang. However, those kinds of flames were extremely rare and difficult to encounter. Therefore, in his opinion, Yi Chan was not afraid of anything. However, he did not expect Lin Xian to have one of those extreme yang flames. The 9 yang divine fire could burn the heavens and destroy the earth. This time, Yi Chen met his nemesis. "Stop! Yi Chen has lost this battle," Elder Tianshui said loudly. Countless people were in an uproar. It had not even started, but it was already over? The faces of the Nalin family members turned ashen. Below, Yi Chen's pupils constricted. He said, "Master, I haven't lost yet. Please let me fight." As a top genius, how could he be willing to admit defeat in front of everyone? "Master, have you forgotten that I still have another ultimate skill?" "Disciple, are you going to use that ultimate technique?" "No, it's too dangerous. Didn't you promise me that you won't cultivate in the future?" Elder Tianshui seemed to have thought of something, and his pupils constricted. "Destiny is like this. Even if I don't cultivate, it will still exist in my body." Yi Chen turned around. The heavenly water laws on his body disappeared and were replaced by an even more terrifying aura. It was abnormally terrifying. In the distance, the toad saw this scene and frowned. What a powerful poison! Could it be that he was a poison cultivator? The expressions of the surrounding people also changed, and they all retreated. Yi Chan was handsome like an immortal before, but now he was sinister and terrifying, like a demon king from hell. His handsome face began to rot, and his eyes became incomparably ashen. His fingers also grew sharp nails, and with a light wave of his hand, heaven and earth would shatter. Elder Tianshui sighed and closed his eyes. The 5th elder and the others were shocked. What was going on? Elder Tianshui said that Yi Chen had won this battle. From now on, there would be no Lin Xian in the world. Countless people were shocked. Lin Xian had the 9 yang divine body. He had previously displayed a powerful aura and defeated Yi Chen in a few moves. Now, Elder Tianshui actually said such words. What was he relying on? Was it the strange scene in front of him? Above the 9 heavens, the levitation saint also frowned when he saw this scene. He said in surprise, "Could it be that you have the Poison King's body?" "That's right." Yi Chan smiled sinisterly. The Poison King's body was a fusion of 5 poisons. No one could withstand it. "Kid, this is my biggest secret. In the past, I might not have revealed it in my entire life. But in order to kill you, I have revealed my greatest trump card. From now on, I am the Poison King, and you will fall into hell forever." The Poison King's body was very terrifying. It was not born, but condensed and formed. There were many strange beasts in this world. Some were powerful. Some had strange magical powers, and at the same time, some had extremely powerful poisons. The toad whispered to the crimson dragon and the others. The Poison King's body was a fusion of 5 extremely powerful poisons. Its power was extremely terrifying. Perhaps even a supreme saint would have a grudge against it. This Poison King's body was hard to come by in thousands of years, because no one could withstand the fusion of 5 poisons. Only 1 in 100 million could survive. They did not expect Yi Chen to have such a trump card. It seemed that things were not going to be easy. The Crimson Dragon, Red Leaf, and the others frowned. The Poison King's body? Lin Xian narrowed his eyes. This was interesting. This was interesting. You were too weak before. I hope you won't disappoint me now. As he spoke, he stomped his foot and instantly appeared in front of the other party. He punched out. Buzz! Yi Chen's figure disappeared. When he reappeared, he was already behind the left side. He stood there, the poison on his body dripping continuously. Deep pits appeared on the primordial battlefield. Countless people were horrified. It was too terrifying. What a fast speed! How did he dodge? In that instant, no one could keep up. It seemed that after becoming the Poison King's corpse, not only did he become stronger, but he also became stronger in all aspects. Lin Xian was probably in danger. Chapter 48:51. Useless brat. Although you have the divine Nine-Yang body, you haven't reached the great accomplishment stage yet. As for my Poison King body, even a saint would retreat upon seeing it, let alone you. Now you can go to hell. Hand of 10,000 poisons. As he spoke, Yi Chan waved his hand and turned into a heavenly spider, charging over. Lin Xian struck out with his golden hand, blocking the spider's arm. At the same time, he frowned as he realized that his flames were being corroded. Clang! A low sound rang out. The poison passed through the flames and reached his body, emitting a deafening sound. The divine Nine-Yang body tried its best to resist, but the runes on it dimmed. How terrifying! Su Chen waved his arm and forced his opponent to retreat. However, his opponent continued to charge over. The spider's arm, the scorpion's tail, and the snake's venomous fangs. The centipede's body. The toad's skin. Every part of his opponent's body was highly toxic. Even a great saint would die if they were to occupy it. Therefore, his opponent didn't dodge at all. He charged straight at Su Chen. Brat, what are you going to use to fight me? Yi Chen sneered. He suppressed Lin Xian. That's great. The people of Tianshui Pavilion cheered. The people of the Nayland family heaved a sigh of relief. This time, there shouldn't be any accidents, right? Lin Xian was beaten until his body swayed and retreated to the edge of the battlefield. A cold light appeared in his eyes. You have the strength. You can actually pressure me. You deserve my full strength. Hearing this, the surrounding people went crazy. Lin Xian hasn't used his full strength yet? What kind of joke is this? His divine Nine-Yang body is already being suppressed. Does he have an even stronger trump card? But how is that possible? The divine body is already amazing. What else could be more amazing? Yi Chen also laughed out loud. Brat, don't deceive yourself. Even with the strongest physique, you're not my match. What do you have to fight me? How can an ant know the vastness of the world? Lin Xian snorted. Next, I'll show you what it means by there's always someone better. A sharp killing intent burst out of his eyes, and he turned into lightning and charged over. The divine Nine-Yang body was even more terrifying. It was useless. 10,000 poisons descended. Yi Chan sneered. Her body moved, and the law of poison turned into a black fog that enveloped everything. It was enough to poison any great sage to death. Lin Xian was instantly enveloped. Not good. Bai Susu and the others immediately tensed up. The battle was over. Elder Tianshui stood up and prepared to leave. However, in the next moment, an earth-shattering sound was heard. The black fog was torn apart, and Lin Xian's fist turned into a ray of light. It was as if 6 worlds had appeared between heaven and earth. With a boom, Yi Chan was sent flying, her body shattered. Her already rotten body became even more terrifying. How could this be? Elder Tianshui turned around abruptly in disbelief. Could the other party withstand the 5 poisons body? Damn it, what kind of power is this? Yi Chen's face was ugly as his broken body slowly healed. His eyes were fixed on Lin Xian. It was obvious that this punch was much more powerful than the previous ones. Lin Xian strode over and snorted coldly. I've said it before. You're worthy of my full strength. He waved the 6-path fist again, and the entire world shook. Damn it! How dare you underestimate me? Yi Chen was also angry. Since he had already used the Poison King's body, how could he stop? With a raise of his hand, he could kill all things with poison. However, Lin Xian's 6-path fist combined with the divine Nine-Yang body was really too powerful. It could sweep through the 9 heavens. 6 paths of reincarnation. 1 punch, super godly. At this moment, countless people's eyes lost their light. They only saw a fist that turned into 6 worlds descending from the sky. What kind of fist technique was this? There was a boom. With a scream, I-Chan was sent flying. His body turned into a bloody mist, and only his head was still intact. However, he roared crazily, "Impossible, I won't lose." Everyone went crazy. Even the Poison King's body couldn't withstand Lin Xian's punch? Did he still have any tricks up his sleeve? If not, I'll send you on your way. Lin Xian's body was filled with poison, and it kept dripping. However, the poison couldn't enter his body at all. Die! I-Chen's body condensed again, and his glabella suddenly split open. A blue bottle flew out, and 3 drops of blue water fell from it. Each drop could crush the heavens. There were many people watching the battle, and the bodies of the weaker ones turned into a bloody mist. There were also some people who directly retreated. The entire ancient battlefield began to tremble vigorously. What kind of trump card was this? Sky water bottle. It contained heavenly spirit, divine water. Damn it! Why did I-Chen have so many trump cards? Some people sighed. There was no other way. He was the personal disciple of an elder. So how could the trump cards in his hands be weak? Each of them could sweep through the world. But Lin Xian was even more terrifying. They didn't know how I-Chen would resist the heavenly spirit, divine water this time. The heavenly spirit, divine water was like 3 mountains that surrounded I-Chen's body. Boy, no matter how strong you are, you can't break through the divine water. Without your power, how can you compete with me? The reason why he was injured was because he fought in close combat with I-Chen. Now he had to pull away. Not good. Lin Xian's advantage was suppressed. Bai Susu's face was pale. Lin Xian sneered. Who told you that I was only good at close combat? He didn't step forward, but his eyes bloomed with a mysterious golden light. I-Chen's body was like a ghost, drifting erratically, and the heavenly spirit, divine water of the 3 lands was still surrounding him. As for him, he shot out poison that filled the sky. Everywhere it passed, it turned into a poison domain. It enveloped Lin Xian. No matter how many tricks you have, I'll destroy them with a glance. Lin Xian's voice became ethereal as if it came from another world. At the same time, the golden light in his eyes suddenly turned into flames and flew forward. Like 2 golden dragons, they danced between heaven and earth. The black poisonous fog was instantly torn apart. At this moment, everyone was stunned. What was this? What a terrifying technique. Damn it, this was the power of reincarnation. It was the light of reincarnation. Lin Xian's gaze turned into the light of reincarnation and pierced through heaven and earth. The poison was torn apart in an instant. The heavenly spirit, divine water, also lost its defensive effect in an instant. Poof! The smile on I-Chen's face froze. He retreated as if he had been struck by lightning. He let out a miserable roar that made one's scalp go numb. There was poison dripping from his body, but nothing could stop it. The light of reincarnation directly killed his soul. I can't accept this. He let out a final cry, but he fell directly on the battlefield. His eyes were wide open when he died. He really didn't expect to die under the gaze of his opponent after blocking his close combat power. Was he dead? Everyone was stunned. They couldn't believe it. The people of Tianshui Pavilion and the Nayland family were dumbfounded. Elder Tianshui was also stunned. He had used the heavenly spirit, divine water, and the Poison King's physique, but he was still killed? How was that possible? Who was his opponent? How did he have so many powerful trump cards? Who are you? Elder Tianshui roared. Chapter 48-52. I-Chen's death shocked countless people. The 5th elder went crazy in disbelief. Elder Tianshui's expression was ferocious and murderous. Who exactly are you? He shouted coldly. It was hard for him to imagine that a young man who had just joined the True Path sect could have such powerful strength. The others also looked over. Lin Xian laughed. I am Lin Xian of the True Path sect. In the future, you can call me Invincible Lin. What an arrogant title. How dare you call yourself invincible? Countless people were shocked. Yi Chen was already dead. Who would stand up for the Nailin family? Lin Xian pointed his sword in all directions. The people of the Nailin family had gone crazy. Their faces were filled with fear. Being targeted by such a terrifying genius would be very dangerous in the future. Kill him. I must kill him. The fifth elder's eyes were filled with murderous intent. He could not wait to attack. Lin Xian was the most terrifying genius he had ever seen. If Lin Xian was still alive, they would be in mortal danger. Thinking of this, the fifth elder looked at Elder Tianshui and said, "Brother." Elder Tianshui's expression was cold. His gaze could tear the 9 heavens apart. He sneered. Invincible Lin. What an arrogant name. I am an elder of the Sky Sect. I did not want to attack you, but you killed 2 of my personal disciples. This is intolerable. Take this, and this. Regardless of life or death, I will not attack you again. Before he finished speaking, Elder Tianshui attacked with his palm. Between heaven and earth, the blue light condensed into a large palm, covering the sky and covering the earth as it rushed over. In an instant, it enveloped Lin Xian. The surrounding people went crazy. They did not expect Elder Tianshui to attack. In the sky, the levitation saint's pupils shrank. How dare you? He slashed out with his sword, but it was too late. Lin Xian was enveloped by the blue palm. The sky collapsed and the earth cracked. The void was completely shattered and turned into nothingness. It's over. That kid is dead. That was for sure. Elder Tianshui was a powerful being in the middle of the Supreme Sage realm. He was 100 times stronger than Yi Chen. How could Lin Xian survive this attack? Is he dead? Haha, that's great. The Nailin family's father laughed proudly. The fifth elder and the others also heaved a sigh of relief. Now that the Nailin clan's peerless enemy had been eliminated, they could finally be at ease. Damn it! The eyes of the Crimson Dragon and the others instantly turned red. Fu Hongya and the others also exclaimed, "Young martial uncle!" Lin Xian was strong, but at present he could only compete with the Great Sage Initial. The Great Sage Intermediate was much stronger than the Great Sage Initial. One was in the sky while the other was in the earth. Lin Xian was struck by this palm, and it boded ill rather than well. The Feather Saint had a cold expression. He waved his hand and shattered the blue laws that filled the sky. However, Lin Xian's figure was nowhere to be seen. Was he really dead? The Levitation Saint's eyes were filled with killing intent as he stared at Elder Tianshui. How dare you make a move on him? Are you challenging the Dao sect? When he took a step forward, the sky collapsed and the earth cracked. Elder Tianshui's face turned pale as well. He spat out blood and retreated. He roared, "Although you are a saint, I am an elder. If you kill me, the Dao sect will declare war on the Heaven sect. Can you bear the consequences?" Damn it! The Levitation Saint had a cold expression. He couldn't make a move because the other party's status was different. However, he wouldn't let him off. Elder Tianshui stood up and said loudly, "He killed 2 of my disciples. It's not wrong for me to strike him once. Moreover, I said that after this palm strike, regardless of life or death, I won't make a move again." Damn it! Bai Susu clenched her teeth. The Crimson Dragon roared in anger and wanted to fight to the death. However, they were all stopped by the Levitation Saint. If a battle broke out now, they wouldn't know. What Lin Wudi? He's too arrogant. Nailin Yenran's father sneered. How dare a young man call himself invincible? The fifth elder snorted coldly. What an arrogant fool. Even the Thearcha's son didn't dare to use the title of invincible. How could he? They all laughed proudly and were in a good mood. Old man, are you done laughing? At this moment, a cold voice rang out from the shattered void. The fifth elder, Nail and Kay, and the others stopped talking. It was as if the Grim Reaper had grabbed their necks. They were terrified. Who was it? Who was playing tricks? They roared crazily. The others were shocked too. Elder Tinshui turned his head abruptly and stared at the shattered void. Originally, he had wanted to leave, but now he realized that the situation was not right. Was it Lin Xian? Bai Susu was shocked too. The levitation saint's eyes shone with a sharp light. The others widened their eyes too. Could it be that the kid wasn't dead? What kind of joke was this? That was Elder Tianshui's attack. How could a sage ruler block it? Even if he had the 9-yang divine constitution, it wouldn't work. From the shattered void, a figure walked out slowly. Lin Xian's face was pale and his body was stained with blood. It was obvious that the previous attack had severely injured him. However, he had many trump cards and used the Great Sage Pagoda to block it. Although he was injured, it wasn't fatal. However, this had infuriated him completely. It was really him. He wasn't dead. Countless people were shocked. Bai Susu, the Crimson Dragon, and the others heaved a sigh of relief. Lin Xian wasn't dead. They were relieved. How could it be? How could he still be alive? The fifth elder looked as if he had seen a ghost. Elder Tianshui's eyes narrowed. How did you do it? Did the levitation saint help him secretly? However, that attack was too sudden. The levitation saint couldn't react in time. Old thing, you're despicable. Lin Xian stared at Elder Tianshui. It was a battle to the death. Your disciple deserved to be killed because he wasn't as skilled. However, you're despicable enough to sneak an attack on me. Where's your honor as an elder? Is everyone in the Sky Sect so despicable and shameless? Damn it. Elder Tianshui's killing intent gathered. The levitation saint appeared on the battlefield below. He came to Lin Xian's side and stared at him. Try attacking again. I can guarantee that your soul will be destroyed instantly. He was furious. This time, he would definitely protect Lin Xian. Damn it. With the levitation saint around, he couldn't attack anymore. It seemed like he had to find a chance to kill Lin Xian secretly. He was prepared to leave. I've said it before. After this attack, your life and death are up to you. I won't attack again. As he spoke, he turned to leave. You want to leave? Lin Xian snorted. Elder Tianshui turned around and sneered. Why? Do you want to attack me? Lin Xian gritted his teeth. His eyes shone with a cold light. He said, I'll use your head to pay for this attack. The others were shocked. This guy wants to kill Elder Tianshui? That's impossible. Elder Tianshui was also cold. Then he laughed. You cultivate for another 1,000 years. He didn't care about Lin Xian's killing intent. He had to guard against the levitation saint. However, he was an elder after all. His status was different from the young disciples. He represented the Sky Sect outside. If he died, the Sky Sect would go crazy. Chapter 48:53. The levitation saint added, This matter isn't over yet. I'll get the Sky Sect to give us a satisfactory explanation. These words were directed at Elder Tianshui. Although you're an elder of the Sky Sect and have a superior status, the Sky Sect still has its rules. You took advantage of your seniority and attacked a disciple of the Sky Sect. The Sky Sect won't let you off. The levitation saint's voice was firm. Elder Tianshui's pupils shrank. His face was cold as he waved his sleeves and left quickly. The levitation saint looked at Lin Xian and channeled some energy into him to help him recover. At the same time, he took out a bottle of elixir. This was a sacred healing elixir. Lin Xian took it and thanked the senior. The levitation saint said, "Don't worry. I won't let him off easily. After I send you back, I'll head to the sky sect immediately." Lin Xian nodded and didn't say anything. The sky sect's rules allowed for punishment, but Lin Xian knew that wasn't enough. He said that he would repay the palm with the other party's head in the future. He wasn't just saying that for fun. Today, Lin Wudi's title had spread. However, he had another title, the Mad God. He had some trump cards that he hadn't used yet. Lin Xian didn't know how to use them. However, after becoming the Mad God, Lin Xian wouldn't hold back. After dealing with the Nailin family, it would be Elder Tianshui's death. At this thought, Lin Xian retracted his gaze and looked at the fifth elder. Now that the sky sect is gone, who will stand up for you? If you want Nailin Yenron's life, hand over 30 cores of the world. Or kneel down in front of the world, kowtow, and admit your mistake. Lin Xian's voice caused the surrounding people to exclaim. They thought that this matter was about to end. Who would have thought that it was just the beginning? Countless gazes fell on the Nailin family, especially the fifth elder. The fifth elder's face turned ugly. Even Elder Tianshui couldn't do anything to the other party. Could he? If it was before, he could still kill the other party. However, the levitation saint was beside the other party now. If he dared to attack, the levitation saint would kill him. "Father, what should we do?" Nailin K gritted his teeth and asked. The fifth elder took a deep breath and closed his eyes. He knew that Nailin Yenran would never come back. He didn't have 30 world cores either, so it was even more impossible for him to kneel. Staying here would be a disgrace. So he gritted his teeth and said, "Let's go." With that, he turned around and left. "But what about Yenran?" Nailin asked. The fifth elder turned around, his eyes cold. "I told you to leave. Are you going to defy my orders?" Nailin K's pupils shrank. "I don't dare." He gritted his teeth. He knew that doing this meant that he had given up. Nailin Yenran. Although the other party was the number one genius of the family, compared to making the fifth elder kneel, it seemed that he could only give up on Nailin Yenran. "Go." Thinking of this, he gritted his teeth and waved his hand. The people of the fifth elder's faction soared into the air and quickly left. Did he leave? Everyone was shocked. Today's scene was simply too shocking. Elder Tianshui and the rest were helpless. They did not expect the Nailin family to back down. Could it be that Lin Xian was that powerful? Lin Wudi, this name spread in their hearts for the first time. He was indeed that powerful. In the distance, Green Phoenix Bailey Fei was extremely shocked when he saw the scene. Although they had already guessed it, seeing it with their own eyes was still different. On the other side, Fire Dragon Lady was also shocked. Fortunately, she had given him a world core previously. Otherwise, if he had resisted back then, she would have ended up in a worse state than Nailin Yenran. On the other side, the old man of the Dugu family heaved a sigh of relief. He said, "Shall we, after this matter is over, go and give Lin Gongzi the sacred healing medicine?" "Yes, grandfather, I understand." Dugu Xiaoi nodded. Everyone thought that the matter was over, but Lin Xian did not think so. Would it be over just because he had given up on Nailin Yenran? Would he have suffered that palm strike for nothing? What kind of joke was this? He would let everyone know that he, Lin Xian, could not be challenged. He would let the people of Holy Abyss Ancient City know the consequences of being ungrateful. "Little guy, let me send you back." The levitation saint waved his hand and brought Lin Xian back. Bai Susu, the dark divine dragon, and the others also returned. The others also left. At the same time, the news spread. In an instant, countless people were in an uproar. The people of the remote antiquity families, the great sects, and the 3 great orthodoxies were all stunned. Lin Xian was actually so powerful that he had killed I Chin. He had withstood Elder Tianshui's palm strike and not died. He had even scared away the elders of the Nailin family. Every single one of them was astounding. Moreover, he had even dared to call himself Lin Wudi. In an instant, this news spread all over the place. When the people of the Dragon Palace found out, they gritted their teeth. Damn it, why didn't he die there? Lan Ziyu and the others were envious. It seemed like they would have to come up with an even more terrifying lineup and strength to deal with Lin Xian in the future. On the other side, Lin Xian and the others returned to the spiritual abode. The people of the Divine Union also heaved a sigh of relief. Boss Lin, that's great. Lin Gongzi, you are just like a god. The people of the Divine Union congratulated him. They had also seen the thrilling battle previously. By following such a person, they would definitely be able to rise up in the future. All right, let's all cultivate. After joining the Divine Union, I will bring you to the top of the world. Lin Xian smiled at the crowd. Then he said, I'm going into seclusion. Lin Xian went into seclusion in the hall. During this time, Duge Xiao Yi also came, and so did the Fire Dragon Girl. They both brought healing, holy medicines. However, they did not see Lin Xian. Lin Xian brought along countless heavenly treasures and quickly recovered. He arrived at the Sword World. He also took 2 stalks of the spiritual medicine that he had planted in the 4 Spirit Valley to recover. His body glowed with multicolored light as his injuries slowly healed. On the other side, the Nayland family was also in an uproar. They had all heard about what had happened to the 5th elder. Many of them had even seen it with their own eyes. They had not expected that their family would be suppressed by a young man and become a joke. The Nayland family head was furious as he reprimanded the 5th elder sternly. He also warned the 5th elder and the others not to go out again, lest they embarrass the family. Damn it, Nayland K roared. The family actually doesn't care about us anymore. The 5th elder's face was also cold. Forget it, we have lost this time. We will go into seclusion and break through. When the time comes, we will return the torture we suffered today 100-fold. Also, keep an eye on that kid. If he goes out to carry out a mission, inform me immediately. I will definitely make sure he doesn't return. Clearly, the 5th elder also had the intention to kill. He was prepared to do it himself. On the other side, the Levitation Saint had arrived at the Sky Sect and questioned the Sky Sect's rules. This matter had already spread. Everyone had seen Elder Tian Shui make a move on a young junior. This had already broken the rules set by the 3 great orthodoxies. The older generation was not allowed to make a move on the younger generation. Since they had broken the rules, they had to be punished. Chapter 4854. On the Sky Sect side, a sage elder walked over and said, Brother Ascension Transformation, Tian Shui has indeed broken the rules. The Sky Sect will punish him. He will be punished by the sin of burning the heavens for a month. He will be struck by lightning for a month. Furthermore, he will not be able to step out of the Sky Sect for 50 years. Are you satisfied with this? The Ascension Saint could only nod when he heard this. The sin of burning the heavens was to be burned by the fire of burning the heavens for a month. After that, he would be struck by lightning for a month. Even though Elder Tian Shui was a mid-stage great sage, he would still be severely injured after these 2 punishments. The Ascension Saint said, I don't wish to see something like this happen again. Of course. The Sky Sect elder nodded. The next step was the execution. Elder Tian Shui was brought along with the sealing chains and thrown into burning Sky Valley to be refined and burned by the flames that filled the sky. His hair was disheveled as he roared at the sky. His body was charred black. Many parts of his body were broken and fresh blood flowed. Lin Xian, I won't let you off. Elder Tian Shui gritted his teeth like an injured beast. His eyes were filled with murderous intent. He would assassinate Lin Xian after he left. The news of Elder Tian Shui's punishment spread once again. In an instant, countless people were shocked. At the same time, The young disciples heaved a sigh of relief. If Elder Tianxue wasn't punished, those young elites would be in danger. The older generation could act as they wished. Now it seemed impossible. The older generation wouldn't act openly. However, they might assassinate secretly. Everyone guessed that Lin Xian wouldn't dare to come out for a period of time. The people from the True Path sect and the Divine Union gritted their teeth when they heard the news. This old thing should be struck to death. Bai Susu said, this was already the best outcome. It was impossible for the sect to kill an elder. However, the sin of burning the heavens and the thunder of destruction would definitely make him suffer. The Crimson Dragon sent the news to the main hall. Lin Xian opened his eyes when he heard it. It wasn't enough to quell his anger. This was the Sky Sect's punishment, not his. He had to deal with his enemy personally. After that, Lin Xian summoned the Crimson Dragon and Fu Hongya. The two of them asked, "Is your injury healed?" Lin Xian said, "All right, it's about time." Although his injuries were serious, they weren't fatal. In addition, Lin Xian had a lot of natural treasures in his hands. Furthermore, the spiritual medicine cultivated in the Four Spirit Valley had helped Lin Xian recover very quickly. "Kid, what do you plan to do next? Do you want us to go to the Nalin family together and suppress the Fifth Elder?" "Naturally, I won't let the Fifth Elder's faction off. However, I'll have to do it myself." Lin Wudi was cultivating in seclusion, but Mad God was about to set off. A terrifying demonic aura emerged from Lin Xian's body. He did it himself. The Crimson Dragon asked. It was too dangerous. After all, the Fifth Patriarch was not someone to be trifled with. What's more, the Nalin family would definitely not sit idly by. "Don't worry, I have my own methods. How are the formations and resources that I asked you to prepare?" Fu Hongya said, "Young martial uncle, we are all ready." He took out many formations. Lin Xian took a look at them and nodded with satisfaction. There were a lot of resources in here. Some of the forces that he was going to use next would consume a lot of resources. Therefore, these were not enough. He said, "Have you set them up near the Fifth Elder's residence?" The Crimson Dragon said, "We have already set them up. When they start to defend, we will have already retreated." "Good. Then I'll go." Lin Xian stood up and summoned the Void Beast. His figure flashed, and the two of them disappeared from the hall. He left the god's residence, but did not immediately go to the Fifth Elder's residence. Instead, he summoned someone. "Greetings, young master." The Six Paths cultivator knelt on one knee with a respectful expression. "Very good, get up." Lin Xian was wearing a black robe. The demonic aura around him was monstrous, as if he had turned into a demonic master. He said to the Six Paths cultivator, "Come with me to the Nalin family." The two of them turned into two bolts of lightning and disappeared into the night sky. The Nalin family's Fifth Elder's residence. Although it was still a bit oppressive, they were already relieved. Lin Xian was injured by a palm strike. Although he survived, he would not be able to recover in a short time. He would not be able to cause trouble for them again. However, they did not know that Lin Xian was already here. This time he was not only looking for trouble, but also 100-fold. Above the ninth heaven, Lin Xian stood there like a demon. The Six Paths cultivator beside him was extremely respectful. With a wave of his hand, Lin Xian took out the heaven-swallowing jar. He shook it gently, and Nalin Yanran flew out. Her face was extremely pale. "How long are you going to suppress me?" Lin Xian said. "Today I will let you see with your own eyes that your bloodline will disappear." "You?" Nalin Yanran was shocked. Then she sneered. "I admit that you are powerful, but it is impossible for you to destroy our bloodline. The Nalin family's strength is not something you can fight against." Previously, she had been suppressed in the heaven-swallowing jar. Therefore, she did not know anything about Lin Xian's life-and-death battle. Lin Xian did not argue with her. He sneered and said, "You will see soon." He waved his hand and imprisoned Nalin Yanran in the ninth heaven. Then he descended. As he descended, a terrifying murderous intent emerged from his body. He shouted coldly. His voice was like thunder. It surged downward. The sky fell and the earth cracked. Below, in the fifth elder's residence, it was very majestic and occupied countless mountains. At this moment, it was attacked by the sound. Inside, the arrays flickered and tried to resist, but they were all shattered in an instant. The arrays were torn apart. The mountains and waterfalls inside were destroyed. The guards inside were also attacked by the sound. Some of them were directly turned into blood mist. All kinds of miserable cries could be heard. It made one's scalp tingle. Everyone in the residence went crazy. Was someone attacking them? Who was so bold? Damn it, did they want to die? A figure rushed out like a god of war. It was Nalin Quebec. He roared angrily. Who dared to behave atrociously? Not only him, but his brothers had also come out. Even the fifth elder was alarmed by the news. Whoever attacked at this time definitely had a grudge against them. After thinking about it, it could only be Lin Xian. However, did Lin Xian have such strength? How dare he attack his residents directly? What kind of joke was this? After the fifth elder arrived, he looked at the sky and his pupils constricted. He saw a figure standing in the sky. The demonic chi on his body was monstrous, like a peerless demon god. That aura made his scalp tingle. Could it be the previous demonic expert? Who are you? Why are you attacking my residents? The fifth elder asked coldly. Mad God! A thunderous voice sounded in the sky. The people below were stunned. Who was Mad God? What an arrogant name! However, the fifth elder's pupils constricted. Chapter 48:55. How could he not know of this name? Mad God was too famous. He was currently ranked 1000 on the Holy Gulf honor roll. Moreover, he had risen in a very short period of time. A few years ago, he had not even been on the Holy Gulf honor roll, but in a short period of time, he had rushed to the top 3000. Now he was already 1000. Such a person was extremely powerful. He was a legendary figure. It was just that they had never provoked such a terrifying existence. The fifth elder gritted his teeth and asked, So it's Mad God. I've heard a lot about you. When did the Nalin family offend you? Why are you attacking my residents? You're here for Lin Xian. The cold voice sounded again. The fifth elder was stunned. Nalin K and the others felt their scalps go numb. The other party was here for Lin Xian. Could it be that Mad God and Lin Xian knew each other? And it seemed that he was here to avenge Lin Xian. The people below broke out in cold sweat. The fifth elder was also frightened. He did not expect Lin Xian to have such a backer. He said, I didn't know that Lin Gongzi was related to you. I'll prepare 3 world cores and send them to the True Path sect. Too late. Lin Xian said coldly, You don't need to exist anymore. What did you say? The fifth elder's pupils shrank. Nalin K and the others were also frightened. Then he shouted angrily, Don't be too arrogant. We respect you because of the Holy Gulf honor roll. Although you're powerful, can you really fight against all of us? The Nalin family is also a top family. Not just anyone can step on us. I'm arrogant? You're the one who betrayed us first. Then you wanted to join forces with the Sky Sect elders to kill Lin Xian. Now I'm only here for revenge. How dare you say I'm arrogant? In the sky, Lin Xian sneered. Then he threw a punch. The black fist was like a falling meteorite as it charged downward. Instantly, countless people from the Nalin family turned into a bloody mist. The other experts retreated. Father, what should we do? Nalin K asked. The fifth elder gritted his teeth. Damn it, he's going too far. So what if he's Mad God? Let's attack him together? In a one-on-one fight, they might not be a match for him. However, Their lineage was filled with experts. The fifth elder himself was a top-notch expert. In addition, this was their territory. There were many array formations, sacred artifacts, and resources here. Could it be that he was afraid of the other party? Thinking of this, the fifth elder shouted angrily. Nalen also waved his hand and joined forces with the array to attack. Kill! Battle cries shook the heavens. Nalen K and his three brothers arrived in front of Lin Xian in an instant. Some used long swords, sabers, and thunderhammers. Endless rays of nomological light erupted, enveloping Lin Xian. Go to hell, Nalen K sneered. If the four of them attacked together, no one would be able to stop them. Boom! Lin Xian's body exuded a monstrous demonic aura as he executed the 6 path fists. His black fist seemed to have opened the gates of the devil world. It was incomparably vast. In an instant, the divine sword, battle saber, and thunderhammer were all sent flying. Light of the demon god. Lin Xian waved his left hand. Boundless black light turned into a demonic sword and shot out. Boom! Nalen K and the others were forced back, their blood and chi surging. Some were even pierced and injured. Damn it, so strong! Nalen K was horrified. The others also felt their scalps go numb. The fifth elder roared and activated the peerless array. The other surviving Nalen family martial artists also took action. The mountains and rivers below shattered, the earth cracked, and a peerless array formation appeared, shining with a terrifying light. Sky-trapping array. This was an extremely powerful array formation. Once activated, it could seal the sky and earth. No one could escape. This time, they wanted to completely trap Mad God to prevent any future trouble. Nalen K and the other 3 charged forward again. The 4 of them joined forces and formed the 4 ultimate sword array. A sword light appeared in each of their hands, enveloping Lin Xian. Lin Xian attacked with the light of the demon god in his left hand and the 6 path fists in his right hand. The battle between the 2 sides was earth-shattering. At the same time, the sky-trapping array kept casting seals, enveloping Lin Xian. Lin Xian was really too powerful at this moment. Mo Chi was monstrous, turning into a terrifying yin-yang image to block the sky-trapping array. Then he punched one of the experts into pieces. The 4 ultimate sword array was broken, and Nalen K and the others quickly retreated. They were shocked. Was this Mad God? He was too powerful. The 4 of them were no match for him, even when they joined forces. At the critical moment, the 5th elder made a move. Demon Destruction Palm. He struck out a peerless divine skill, and a huge palm covered the sky and earth as it attacked Lin Xian. Lin Xian was forced back. Mad God? You're just Hezo. The 5th elder sneered. After comparing just now, he realized that the other party was powerful, but not as powerful as him. Great, let's attack together. Nalen K and the others laughed wildly. Old thing, do you really think you can suppress me? Lin Xian roared to the sky, his black hair dancing wildly. A black spear appeared in his hand. Great destruction. Kill. Lin Xian's attack pierced through heaven and earth, and at this moment he became the only thing in the world. Boom! A figure screamed. Nalen K roared crazily. He was penetrated by the black spear and nailed in the void. The demonic chi on it terrified him. Damn it, get lost. The 5th elder roared crazily and struck out with the demon destruction saber to attack the great destruction spear. Lin Xian, on the other hand, channeled the power of the great dragon sword soul and integrated it into the great destruction spear. In addition to the great destruction spear, it already had an extremely strong destructive aura. The 2 forces burst out from Nalen K's body. Nalen K's body cracked and turned into a bloody mist. His soul was also destroyed by the aura of the great dragon sword soul in an instant. Is he dead? The other three brothers were horrified when they saw the scene. Nalan K was their eldest brother, and he was considered the strongest, but he was killed in a single blow. Is this mad god so terrifying? The fifth elder's eyes turned red. I must tear you into pieces. He attacked crazily and went up to the 9 heavens. It had to be said that the fifth elder was very powerful. He was far from what Nalan K and the other three could contend with. Even if Lin Xian used the Great Destruction Spear, he could only protect himself and was at a disadvantage. The fifth elder's eyes shone with a terrifying light. Kid, is this all you have? Then you can die. A saber appeared in the fifth elder's hand. It was a great sage weapon, the demon slayer's saber. He fought with all his strength, slaying a demon with a single blow. Go to hell, you demon. Humph. Have you used your trump card? Lin Xian's face was cold. In the next moment, he crushed a few arrays in the storage ring. The treasures inside shattered, providing him with great power. A dragon-shaped sword shadow appeared in his hand, shrouded in demonic chi. It seemed to have turned into a demonic sword. Slash! He slashed out with the sword and the demon slayer saber. They collided. The sky fell and the earth cracked. Boom! Boom! An earth-shattering sound rang out. The whole world kept shattering, and the mansion below was torn apart. This attack was too powerful. Lin Xian attacked with the great dragon sword soul with all his strength. Above the sky, a figure descended, and Saint Blood fell wildly. Is that kid dead? In the mansion below, the people of the Nalan family were ecstatic. However, when they saw the white-haired figure, they were all stunned. The fifth elder, how is this possible? The fifth elder is seriously injured. Chapter 48:56. The fifth elder was in a very miserable state. The sword pierced through his right shoulder and split his body open. His internal organs were all shattered, and half of his heart was also shattered. In particular, the biting cold aura and terrifying demonic chi on it made his injuries unable to heal completely. This terrified him too much. Father, are you all right? The middle-aged men below roared. The fifth elder's face was extremely pale. He said, I'm severely injured. I'm going to activate the array spirit and fuse with it. Help me hold them off for a while. As he said that, the fifth elder flew towards the ground below. It seemed that he was going to use his ultimate trump card. Above the 9th heaven, Nalan Yanran looked at this scene in disbelief. She was already terrified when her father was killed by a single blow. She felt as if she had lost her soul. Now that she saw her grandfather being severely injured, she was even more terrified. Is that really Lin Xian? Lin Xian actually has such powerful strength. It was ridiculous that they were still thinking about how to deal with him. They were really digging their own graves. Now, she wanted to shout and stop him, but she couldn't do it at all. She was afraid that she would have to watch her family be destroyed with her own eyes. Below, when the 3 middle-aged men heard that, they were also shocked. Then they roared. Everyone listen to my orders. Control the array formation with all your strength and block this kid with me. The 5th elder took out the demon slayer saber and launched a shocking attack, but he was still no match for Lin Xian. They could only use their ultimate trump card. However, that trump card would take some time to fuse, and that time could not be disturbed. Therefore, they had to stop Lin Xian. Lin Xian snorted coldly and descended. The great spear of destruction tore through the 9th heaven like a black dragon. Many people vomited blood and were sent flying. The entire sky turned into a sea of blood. Countless corpses turned into white bones and fell from the sky. The 3 middle-aged men also vomited blood. He's too powerful. However, the sky-trapping formation was indeed terrifying. With the cooperation of many powerhouses, they stopped Lin Xian in his tracks. Lin Xian's face was cold. He snorted coldly. 6 paths. In the sky, another figure descended. The 6 paths fist swept across the surroundings. Many people were sent flying. Damn it, does this guy still have helpers? They were terrified. Mad God was already so powerful. If another top expert came, they really wouldn't be able to stop him. You are the 6 paths cultivator. Damn it, why are you helping him? The people of the Nalen family roared crazily. They had contacted the vagrant 6 paths before and had even given him 2 worlds to protect Nalen Yanran. Who would have thought that the other party would run away and follow the mad god to attack the Nalen family? The voice of the 5th elder came from below. 6 paths, do you want to be my enemy? Think about the consequences. My Nalen family will not let you off. 6 paths snorted. He was Lin Xian's battle servant. Why would he care about such things? Lin Xian said, break through their defenses and don't let them affect me. After saying that, he rushed down. Damn it! Stop him! Below, the experts of the Nalen family attacked. However, the vagrant 6 paths was also very powerful. After all, he was ranked 2001 on the honor roll. He was definitely not someone these people could stop. Although he couldn't do anything to the entrapment formation, it was easy for him to help Lin Xian stop the enemy. Without those people restraining him, Lin Xian continued to descend. He stretched out his hand and punched the ground with the 6 paths fist. Below, the formation rolled. The 5th elder spat out a mouthful of blood. Damn it! In front of him, there was an ancient altar with a purple light on it. What the 5th elder wanted to do was to swallow the purple light into his body and fuse it with the formation. He wanted to control the formation and defeat his opponent. Now that he had just fused with the formation, he was injured. His expression was extremely ugly. Fuse quickly. His laws were burning, and his eyes were bloodshot. The purple light fused with him. However, halfway through, Lin Xian arrived. He struck forward with his palm. In an instant, the 5th elder was sent flying. The 5th elder spat out blood and roared. Damn it, he was so close. However, his strength had also become much stronger than before. Demon Slaying Blade. The Demon Slaying Blade struck out again. Lin Xian used the power of the great dragon, Sword Soul again. Half of the 5th elder's body was shattered, and he screamed crazily. The purple light that he had just fused with was also beaten out. No, you can't kill me either, the 5th elder roared. I'm an elder of the Nalen family. If you kill me, you'll become an enemy of the Nalen family. As he spoke, he secretly cast a spell and began to ask for help from the family. Why are you afraid? Lin Xian sneered. When you attacked the young people before, did you think of this situation? He walked up and slapped the 5th elder to the ground. Half of the 5th elder's face was smashed. Damn it, his eyes were bloodshot. He was so angry that his lungs were about to burst. As a powerhouse of the older generation and a core elder of the Nalen family, when had he ever been suppressed like this? Who dared to hit his face? But now the other party did it. Not only that, Lin Xian stepped on the 5th elder's head mercilessly. Aren't you very powerful? Aren't you being ungrateful? Come on, continue to be arrogant. I'll endure it. The 5th elder gritted his teeth. He had already asked for help from the family. It wouldn't be long before the family's experts arrived. At that time, would the family just sit back and watch? At most, he would plead for mercy from the family and admit his mistake. The family would definitely protect him. No matter how strong the other party was, could he become an enemy of the entire Nalen family? Sure enough, when the 5th elder was fighting here, the Nalen family headquarters knew about it. What was going on? Something happened in the 5th elder's mansion again. Soon the news spread. The people in the Nalen family headquarters were also surprised. Some elders frowned. This 5th elder was really looking for trouble. What was he doing again? Ignore it. But not long after, they were stunned. They had received the fifth elder's request for help. Not good. There might really be a problem. This time, even the Nayland family's patriarch was alarmed. Follow me. In an instant, dozens of figures flashed past. They were all extremely terrifying great sage elders. In addition, there were even more experts and saints who rushed into the sky. They were going to support the fifth elder. The eighth elder's territory naturally received the news. The fifth elder's mansion was attacked. The fifth elder sent a request for help. Who did it? They were stunned. Then the eighth elder gasped. Could it be related to Lin Xian? Let's go and take a look. They also moved quickly. In an instant, everyone set off for the fifth elder's mansion. The battle in the fifth elder's mansion was terrifying. The Six Paths was fighting against many experts of the Nayland family. At this moment, his body was also stained with blood. However, he was not afraid at all. Lin Xian only gave him one goal, which was to stop the other party and not hold back. Therefore, there were many experts of the Nayland family who died in the hands of the Six Paths. Those people's eyes were red. However, the Six Paths was indeed very strong. With his strong physique and the Six Paths fist, not many people could compete with him. Now, they could only wait for the fifth elder to merge with the formation spirit. Chapter 48:57. But soon they fell into despair, because the fifth elder's screams came from the ground. No, those people roared crazily. The fifth elder was being beaten up. Damn it, how could this be? The fifth elder's situation was very miserable. He suffered endless torture, and even his soul was severely injured. Lin Xian didn't kill him, so he wouldn't let him die so easily. He would let him taste what it meant to live a life worse than death. Mad God, are you satisfied? Can you spare my life? The fifth elder roared and begged for mercy. Of course, he didn't really submit. He was waiting for the people of the family to arrive. They should be here soon. He just had to endure for a while. When the people of the family arrived, he would suppress them. He would return the favor 100 times. No, 10,000 times. Lin Xian snorted coldly. It was useless to beg for mercy. He would send him on his way. The great spear of destruction pierced through the fifth elder's heart and nailed him to the ground. The fifth elder felt as if his entire body was about to split apart. His opponent was too terrifying. Every attack was fatal. He was definitely seriously injured by this attack. Even if he didn't die, his combat strength would be greatly reduced. His foundation was severely injured. If he wasn't treated in time, he would be crippled. Was he really going to die in the hands of the other party? Just as the fifth elder was in despair, an angry roar came from the sky. Stop! Who dares to attack the people of the Nayland family? Do you want to die? Numerous voices resounded like a myriad of thunderclaps, shaking the world. The fifth elder smiled. He knew that the powerhouses of the family had arrived. When the Nayland family's patriarch arrived with a group of elders, he was dumbfounded. This was the fifth elder's residence. It had long been torn apart. There was an endless sea of blood in the sky and piles of bones below. This was simply Azura hell. How long had it been? The fifth elder's residence had become like this? Who was it that did it? Patriarch, you're here. 2 middle-aged men flew over, crying. They were the sons of the fifth elder. There were 3 of them before, and one of them was killed by 6 paths. Thus, the remaining 2 people, as well as the surrounding people, were all covered with injuries. Who did it? An elder walked out, his eyes filled with killing intent. He stared at a figure in front of him and frowned. The person in front was covered in blood, and it was impossible to tell who he was. The middle-aged man said it was the 6 Paths cultivator. What? Rogue cultivator of 6 Paths? The surrounding people were shocked, and their expressions changed greatly. This was an expert on the glory leaderboards. Why would he attack the fifth elder's residence? The leader of the Nayland family frowned. That's not right. Although 6 Paths is strong, You might not be able to defeat him in a one-on-one fight. However, this was the power of an entire mansion. It wasn't something that the six paths could deal with alone. It wasn't him. He was just a helper. The real attacker was Mad God. He was here to avenge Lin Xian. What? Mad God? Hearing this name, the people of the Nailin family gasped. Even the Nailin clan's patriarch's pupils shrank. This name reverberated like thunder in their ears. This was a newly risen super expert in Holy Abyss ancient city. How did the other party attack? When they heard the last sentence, they were all stunned. The other party was here to avenge Lin Xian. Lin Xian actually knew Mad God. Damn it, why didn't they know before? This fifth elder was really courting death. The Nailin clan's patriarch was instantly furious. He said, "Where's the fifth elder?" Mad God was attacking him below. "Patriarch, please save my father!" The two middle-aged men exclaimed. The Nailin clan's patriarch stretched out his hand and tore open the ground. He just happened to see the scene of Lin Xian attacking. "How dare you!" With a wave of his hand, a shocking purple light turned into a divine light that pierced through heaven and earth. On the ground below, Lin Xian wanted to continue attacking, but he felt that the sky was falling and the earth was cracking. An extremely terrifying force came at him. He turned around and swung the spear of great destruction to block the attack. Boom! He was knocked back and his arm was numb. What a terrifying force! The experts of the Nailin family had arrived. Lin Xian looked at the sky. There were dozens of figures, and the one in the lead was a middle-aged man. His aura was terrifying, even more terrifying than the fifth elder. Thinking about it, this should be the Nailin clan's patriarch. "You're Mad God?" The Nailin clan's patriarch frowned. The other party's demonic energy was monstrous. It was too terrifying. This Mad God was indeed worthy of his reputation. He was able to resist him head-on and merely retreat. At this moment, Lin Xian had used all his trump cards. He held the spear of great destruction in his hand and had the great sage protecting him. He raised his head and stared at the people above. "You want to stand up for the fifth elder?" Mad God, the fifth elder was wrong previously. "I will make him apologize in public and compensate Lin Xian with 3 world cores. So you should stop." Lin Xian laughed loudly. "You think I should stop just because you say so? Why didn't you say this before I came? Now that you feel that you can't win, you want to beg for mercy. It's not that simple. Previously, you either kneel down and beg me for 30 world cores. But not now. They have to die to appease my anger." The Nailin clan's patriarch frowned. This person was really arrogant. The surrounding elders were even more furious. This guy dared to be so arrogant. Did he think that the Nailin clan was weak? In the 9 heavens, Nailin Yanran was originally in despair. But when the Nailin clan's patriarch arrived, she regained her hope. Lin Xian snorted coldly. "Scram! If you dare to help the fifth elder again, don't blame me for completely destroying your Nailin clan." After saying that, Lin Xian punched out, shattering the fifth elder's body into pieces. The fifth elder screamed. This attack had almost killed him. "You dare!" In the sky, the Nailin clan's patriarch was furious. The other elders also roared. "Brat, you dare to threaten the Nailin clan!" Many people have challenged the Nailin clan, but none of them succeeded. You are no exception. In the sky, dozens of elders pressed down, shattering the 9 heavens and 10 earths. It was too powerful. The 6 paths itinerant cultivator vomited blood and was sent flying. There were even more cracks on his body. "Looks like you are determined to fight." Lin Xian's face was cold. His body flashed, and he instantly charged into the 9 heavens. The great spear of destruction was aimed at one of the elders. "You are courting death." That person punched out, and the others followed suit. A huge battle broke out instantly. Below, The fifth elder saw this scene and sneered. His soul came out of the scabbard, and it quickly merged with the purple light on the altar. He wanted revenge. He wanted to kill Lin Xian with his own hands. Outside, Lin Xian felt immense pressure. Although he was strong, when dozens of elders attacked together, it was truly terrifying to the extreme. His face was cold. "Since you want to die, I will fulfill your wish." Lin Xian let out a roar as the rings of holding in his hand shattered into pieces. The great dragon sword soul was summoned again, and it absorbed endless energy, releasing a terrifying light. Chapter 48:58. This aura. The Nalin family leader was terrified. The dozens of elders also felt their scalps go numb. They really didn't expect the other party to be able to unleash such a shocking sword attack. Dodge! They wanted to escape, but it was already too late. This sword attack had absorbed enough energy. When the sword slashed out, heaven and earth split open. Those elders were like kites swaying in the wind, instantly flying out. 5 elders turned into a bloody mist, their souls destroyed by the sword attack. Heaven and earth split open, and a rain of blood fell. Countless elders roared. The Nalin family leader's eyes were red. This sword attack had killed 5 elders. It was too terrifying. Lin Xian's face was also pale. His body swayed, and he spat out 3 mouthfuls of blood. Although there was external energy providing the great dragon sword soul, the pressure on his body was also very great. Only the 9-yang divine body could withstand this attack. Otherwise, if it was another great sage, his body would probably be shattered before he could use it. But even so, Lin Xian's body split open. He was injured, but compared to the other party, he laughed. After one attack, 5 elders were shattered, causing the Nalin family members to panic. The family leader's heart was bleeding. "Damn it! Stop!" The Nalin family leader roared, but the others were angry. Especially the remaining elders. Their eyes were red. "Damn it, kill him! Take his treasures and avenge our people." That was a super powerful trump card just now. He definitely couldn't use it a second time. The remaining 20 or so elders rushed over again. Lin Xian's eyes burst with an extremely cold light. He swallowed heavenly treasures in large mouthfuls and circulated the 9-yang divine body to the extreme. At the same time, the immortal indestructible technique in his body quickly circulated. Immortal battle armor covered his body, increasing his vitality. He crushed the remaining array formations, and the energy inside surged out and poured into the great dragon's sword soul. Another sword attack. No, the 20 or so elders despaired. With such a super powerful trump card, shouldn't the other party be out of power after using it once? How could he use it a second time? They actually forgot to escape. The sword fell, and another 5 elders' astral souls were destroyed. The remaining dozen or so elders were also seriously injured, and their faces were pale. "Stop!" Nalin clan's patriarch roared crazily. He rushed over and said, "We won't interfere in this matter anymore." He couldn't continue fighting, even though he saw Lin Xian spitting out blood again and his body splitting apart, as if he was about to split into 2 halves. However, he didn't dare to make another move. Who knew if his opponent would be able to unleash a 3rd strike? Lin Xian's situation was also very bad. The power of the array formation had already disappeared, and he was also under great pressure. The 9-yang divine body was severely injured, but it should have intimidated the Nalin family. In the sky, Nalin Yanran was in despair. Lin Xian had killed 10 core elders with 2 swords. This was simply a heaven-defying move. Even the crown prince probably couldn't do it. What was that thing in his hand? Was it an extreme weapon? Why was he so strong? Nalin Yanran went crazy. She didn't expect that her regret would cause such a serious loss to her family. The Nalin family was completely terrified. They kept retreating, wanting to escape. However, at this moment, the ground below split open as a sinister laughter rang out. "Ha ha ha, kid, die for me. I'll let you know the consequences of living a life worse than death." This voice came from the fifth elder. Purple light surrounded his body as if he had turned into a strange existence. The entire world collapsed as a huge purple array formation appeared around him. It enveloped heaven and earth. A terrifying aura filled the air. Nayland family's patriarch Tongmeng said that the fifth elder had fused with the array spirit. What was he trying to do? Lin Xian also frowned. He stared ahead as a purple figure floated over. It was a large purple flag with the fifth elder's soul aura on it. The fifth elder's soul had fused with the purple flag and turned into the array spirit, controlling the entire sky trapping array. "Kid, I'll let you know the true power of the sky trapping array." The flag formed by the fifth elder swayed. The sky trapping array completely bloomed and turned into a purple steel. One steel suppressed the 6 paths, unaccompanied. At the same time, 3 steels charged toward Lin Xian. Lin Xian felt an extremely strong sealing power. He threw out the 6 paths fist to resist the steel, but it shattered in an instant. "It's useless. I've completely turned into an array spirit and can no longer be a human. Do you think the power I displayed after paying such a price will be weak? I'll make you despair." The fifth elder's voice was like a demon, echoing between heaven and earth. Lin Xian was surrounded by the 3 steels, and an extremely strong sealing aura appeared on his body. Was he going to be sealed? He shouted coldly. The heaven-swallowing jar appeared and swallowed the heavens and earth, blocking the 3 steels. However, Lin Xian's current situation was very bad. The fifth elder saw that he had injured his physique by using the great dragon sword soul, so he attacked crazily. After the 3 steels, 9 more steels descended from the sky and suppressed everything. In the distance, the Nayland family's patriarch also heaved a sigh of relief. Their eyes were shining. After suppressing this kid, they must obtain the sword in his hand. Too strong. They all suspected that it might be an extreme weapon. Even if it wasn't, it was an extremely terrifying, legendary, holy weapon. Lin Xian was shrouded by the 12 steels and sealed. The fifth elder laughed. He turned into a large flag and flew forward. He wanted to make the other party suffer a fate worse than death. Lin Xian's eyes bloomed with an extremely cold light. "Old thing, do you really think that you can compete with me by controlling the entire array and turning into an array spirit? Let me show you what the strongest power in the world is. With just you, do you still have the power?" The fifth elder snorted coldly. He could see that Lin Xian was already an arrow at the end of its flight. If he used any more power, his body would be completely shattered. However, Lin Xian's eyes were filled with madness. His trump card was not only that. Previously, he had already let the Crimson Dragon take action. The Crimson Dragon and the others quietly arranged the spirit transferring array in the fifth elder's mansion. Previously, Lin Xian had not used it because the spirit transferring array was extremely terrifying. It would devour all the spirit veins below the mansion and transform them into powerful energy for his use. Lin Xian originally wanted to kill the fifth elder and take over his mansion without destroying the spirit veins. But now it seemed that it was impossible. Since that was the case, he might as well use it. His palms formed a seal, and the spirit transferring array around the mansion emerged from the ground and emitted a bright light. In an instant, the spirit veins in the fifth elder's mansion shook and quickly dried up and shattered. What was going on? The fifth elder was terrified. He realized that the power of his sky-trapping array was weakening. In addition to absorbing the power of heaven and earth, the array was more important for the supreme grade spirit veins below. But at this moment, was there something wrong with the supreme grade spirit veins? The spirit transferring array kept emitting light. At the same time, an array diagram appeared behind Lin Xian. The The power of the spirit transferring array merged into his body through the array behind him. An extremely strong light burst out from Lin Xian's eyes. The great dragon sword soul in his hand let out a loud dragon roar that pierced the 9 heavens. Chapter 48:59. An immortal slaying sword. A cold voice rang out. The dragon's sword spirit seemed to come alive as it slashed down mercilessly. The entrapment array shook violently. Countless cracks appeared on it and spread in all directions. No, damn it. How could this power be so terrifying? The 5th elder was terrified. The battle of the entrapment, a peerless attack. That purple flag was swaying nonstop. The 5th elder was also going all out. He ignited all of his power and unleashed the sky-trapping matrix. Millions of sky steels descended, trying to suppress the sword. However, all the divine steels were destroyed by the sword. The heaven-trapping array was torn to pieces, and the purple flag was also cut into 2 halves by the sword. No, inside the flag, the 5th elder's soul was also being torn apart. The pain made him despair. He wanted to escape, but there was no way he could escape under this sword. He was crushed into powder and disappeared without a trace. Boom! At the same time, Lin Xian's body cracked and turned into a bloody mist. The whole world kept collapsing and shattering. The 5th elder's mansion was completely turned into nothingness. The rogue 6 paths quickly retreated. The divine steels that suppressed him were broken. He was injured all over, but he didn't die. At this moment, his face was full of shock. Was his master dead? He couldn't believe it. On the other side, the Nalen family leader also retreated with a group of elders. The 8th elder was also terrified. Had the mad god died? He was shocked. The mad god was related to Lin Xian, and Lin Xian was related to Nalen Liang. If the mad god died, Lin Xian would have no one to rely on. In this way, Nalen Liang would be in danger. Therefore, he didn't want to die. However, the Nalen family leader laughed loudly. His eyes shone brightly. It was good that Mad God died. After all, Mad God had killed the 5th elder. He was a great enemy of their family. Moreover, he desperately wanted the sword shadow on Mad God's body. Mad God's death was good news for him. From now on, he could sweep the world with his sword. Was he dead? They were all destroyed. They died together. In the sky, Nalen Yanran heaved a sigh of relief. However, it had already been a few times. Now, she was not too sure if the other party would really die. The Nalen clan's clan had walked over with large strides. He waved his hands and tore apart the storm that filled the sky. Some of the spatial cracks that hit him were blocked by his armor. He came to the shattered space in front of him and looked around, trying to find the dragon's sword. However, he discovered that there was none. What's going on? Did the dragon's sword disappear? Find it for me. They had to find it, even if they had to dig 3 feet into the ground. The people around him moved quickly. However, at that moment, a voice rang out. "You want to snatch my treasure?" Hearing this voice, everyone stopped. They were terrified. This was the voice of the mad god. The Nalen clan's patriarch's pupils shrank as he quickly retreated. Who was it? Playing tricks? Could it be that you're not dead? This was impossible. His opponent's physique definitely wouldn't have been able to withstand such an attack. He had seen his opponent turn into a blood mist island with his own eyes. Why did he have to die? Lin Xian's voice rang out. He looked up to the sky and laughed. "I am immortal." Between heaven and earth, an extremely terrifying law condensed. The immortality art quickly swept through. The blood mist that filled the sky merged again, turning into a fiend godlike figure that appeared above the 9 heavens. A roar that could break the 9 heavens. "You're still alive?" The Nalen clan's patriarch retreated, his face pale. The others were also terrified. A trace of hope was restored in the 8th elder's eyes. "Great. Nalin, Yanran knelt on the ground in horror. He was indeed not dead. If he was not dead, who could kill him? After Lin Xian appeared, demonic qi surrounded his body. He also felt incredulous. Indeed, although he didn't die from the previous attack, he must have been seriously injured. The power of the great dragon's sword soul had already exceeded the limits of what his body could withstand. However, when his body split open, he felt a strange power. It was the power of the immortality art. This power allowed his body to reform, and his injuries were healed by half. It was too magical. The dragon sword appeared in Lin Xian's hand again. He stared at the Nalin clan's patriarch like a fiend god. "Do you want this sword?" The sword chi appeared, piercing through heaven and earth. The Nalin clan's patriarch's pupils shrank. It was this sword that killed 10 core elders and killed the 5th elder with one sword. How could he forget? "I think you misunderstood. I was just worried about whether you had died." The Nalin clan's patriarch laughed twice. "Since you're still alive, that's great. You killed the 5th elder. Our Nalin clan will not pursue the matter." After saying that, he turned around and was about to leave with his people. Lin Xian sneered. "Not pursue the matter? Do you dare to pursue the matter? The 5th elder deserved to die, but you actually brought people to support him. How should you be punished?" The Nalin clan's patriarch was also angry. He turned around and shouted coldly, "You want to punish me? You think too highly of yourself. I'm the patriarch of the clan, and the 5th elder can't be compared to me. You already spent so much effort to kill the 5th elder, and you want to kill me?" Hearing this, a cold aura appeared in Lin Xian's eyes. At the same time, a black vortex appeared behind him. It could swallow heaven and earth. "If you were in the Nalin clan's headquarters now, I wouldn't be able to kill you. But you're here now. If I want to kill you, although I will have to pay a price, it may not be impossible. Damn it." The Nalin clan's patriarch's face was pale, and the other elders' pupils shrank. Indeed, there was no core array of the family headquarters here, nor were there many resources and sacred weapons. If they were to fight here, it would be unwise. "Let's go." These people rose into the air one after another. However, Lin Xian had already thrown out the swallowing heaven jar. An endless black vortex appeared around him, as if it could swallow everything. "You dare to stop me? Although you've recovered and are not dead, you're already seriously injured and at the end of your rope. You're not qualified to compete with me." The Nalin clan's patriarch roared. He seemed to have seen through Lin Xian's secret. Lin Xian smiled. "Yes, I'm seriously injured, and my strength is not as good as before. But if I burn my laws and fight desperately, none of you can block the power of this sword. The worst result would be mutual destruction. But do you want to die?" He looked at the 20 or so elders. The elders' faces were ugly. With so many core elders, it was not worth it to die together with the other party. Lin Xian said, "You want to live? I'll spare your lives. I won't blame all the elders, but you must join forces to kill this patriarch. Otherwise, I'll send all of you to hell." As soon as these words came out, everyone was stunned. The Nalin clan's patriarch's face became incomparably ugly. The 20 or so elders' faces were also solemn. At this time, an elder asked coldly, "Can we believe you?" Lin Xian said, "I swear in the name of the mad god that I won't kill you." The Nalin clan's patriarch was terrified. He looked at the surrounding elders and said, "Damn it, what do you want to do? You want to make a move on me? Aren't you afraid of being punished by the clan's rules?" Chapter 4860. The surrounding elders all had cold expressions. "Patriarch, this brat is right. If we make a move against him, we'll all perish together. That would be too tragic. So why don't you die and help us all?" Another person walked out and said, "That's right. As the patriarch, you have to think for the family. If we all die, we will all die. The Nalin family will be finished, so we must live. These people's voices were cold. The Nalan family's patriarch's face became incomparably ugly. He stared at Lin Xian. Damn it, I'm going to kill you. He knew that he had to get rid of this kid in front of him. Otherwise, he would very likely be killed by his own family. Lin Xian sneered and retreated. He said, hurry up and attack. After 3 seconds, I will attack all of you. The other elders' pupils constricted when they heard this. They attacked. With a roar, they charged toward the Nalan family's patriarch. Damn it, the Nalan family's patriarch was instantly sent flying and vomited blood. He gritted his teeth and fled in the direction of the family. He could only survive if he returned to the family. However, since those people had already attacked, it was impossible to let them go back. Otherwise, they would definitely die. So, these people attacked crazily. Although the Nalan family's patriarch was powerful, he was surrounded by more than a dozen elders. He was no match for them at all. After all, he did not have a dragon sword soul like Lin Xian. He did not have an extreme weapon. So he vomited blood and his retreating body was broken. I hate it! He roared to the sky. He did not expect that the patriarch of his family would end up like this. Lin Xian stood in the distance and watched this scene. He sneered. He did not intend to attack the other party. However, the other party did not know what was good for him. At his critical moment, he wanted to kill him and even wanted to snatch his dragon sword soul. Lin Xian could not tolerate it. He could only send the other party to hell. Moreover, he also showed a trace of surprise. More than a dozen elders attacked together, but the 8th elder did not. The 8th elder stood there in shock. He seemed to be completely stunned. The 8th elder was Nalan Liang's grandfather, and he seemed to be in a good mood. It could be nurtured. Lin Xian's eyes flickered. Previously, when the Nalan family attacked him, the 8th elder didn't do anything. This showed that the 8th elder was willing to stand on his side. Now that the Nalan family was besieging the patriarch, the other party didn't make a move. This showed that the other party cared about kindness. Therefore, Lin Xian immediately came up with an idea. The battle ahead was incomparably terrifying and intense. The Nalan clan's patriarch used all his strength and even burned his life force to kill 2 elders. The remaining elders went crazy and attacked with all their might. Finally, the Nalan clan's patriarch was completely annihilated. Had the patriarch fallen? The 8th elder and the others were shocked. The rest of the elders were covered in blood and had ferocious expressions. They turned to look at Lin Xian and asked coldly, "Is this enough?" Lin Xian said with a smile, "All right, but I still have a few things to do." "What's going on?" The dozen or so elders at the front frowned. Lin Xian said with a smile, "The Nalan clan's patriarch has been killed by you. The Nalan clan has no leader. I'm afraid it's very bad. Therefore, a new patriarch must be elected immediately. I've decided to let the 8th elder be the patriarch." What? As soon as these words came out, the faces of the dozen or so elders changed drastically. One of them had an extremely ugly expression. He was the great elder. Previously, he was the first to stand up and attack the patriarch. Although he didn't want to die together with Lin Xian, he wanted to use this opportunity to kill the patriarch. Then he would be the strongest and have the highest status. He could smoothly become the new patriarch. It could be said that he could kill many birds with one stone. But he didn't expect that the 8th elder would be the patriarch. His dream was shattered. The great elder's eyes were red. He said coldly, "Who will be the patriarch is our Nalan clan's business. You can't control it." "Yes, I can't control it, but I have recorded the previous battle scene with an array. If the scene recorded by this array is spread out, especially to the Nalan clan, do you think you are still qualified to be an elder?" What? As soon as these words came out, the great elder's pupils shrank. The faces of the other dozen, or so elders, also became incomparably ugly. Damn it, they rushed over in an instant. Lin Xian took out the great dragon sword and said, "Do you want to die? I'll help you." feeling the terrifying aura from the great dragon sword, these people all stopped. Their faces became incomparably ugly. Damn it, they found that they had jumped into a big hole that was already dug by the other party. Now they were in a dilemma. They didn't have the courage to fight with Lin Xian, and they didn't dare to spread the scene recorded by the array. Once this happened, they would become the enemies of the Nailin clan. Damn it, the great elder roared crazily. Lin Xian coldly snorted. I'll give you one last chance. Immediately let the 8th elder be the patriarch. At the same time, I guarantee that your original status will not change. Otherwise, don't blame me for destroying everything. Anyway, the unlucky one is the Nailin clan. I have nothing to lose. Lin Xian sneered. The other elders naturally understood that this mad god had nothing to do with their clan. Even if their Nailin clan was destroyed, they couldn't do anything to the other party. So these people thought about it and finally decided to grit their teeth. Okay, we agree to let the 8th elder be the patriarch. As soon as these words came out, the great elder was instantly angry, but now no one supported him. He could only unwillingly lower his head. Let the 8th elder be the patriarch first. However, his strength was stronger than the 8th elder. He could secretly cultivate his own strength. One day, he would take back the position of the patriarch. And this mad god, he wouldn't let the great elder go. A trace of killing intent appeared in his eyes, but it quickly disappeared. This scene happened in an instant. But how could it be hidden from Lin Xian's eyes? Lin Xian coldly snorted. The great elder better not make a move secretly. Otherwise, he could guarantee that the other party would die miserably. In front, more than a dozen elders came to the 8th elder's side and bowed. The patriarch accidentally fell in the battle. The 8th elder is highly respected and suitable to be the patriarch. We have now decided to let the 8th elder become the new patriarch and accept the patriarch seal. The Nailin clan's patriarch's storage ring was taken over, and a purple seal flew out from it. That was the symbol of the patriarch's identity. At this moment, they were going to hand it over to the 8th elder. The 8th elder was completely stunned. To be honest, he was shocked by the previous scene. At the same time, he didn't expect that he would become the patriarch. He looked at Mad God and wanted to say something. Lin Xian said, "Be at ease and be the patriarch. From now on, the Nailin clan is yours. Don't worry about my purpose. I support Lin Xian, and your grandson and Lin Xian are good friends. This is the reason." The 8th elder's body trembled. It turned out that it was because of Lin Xian, and his grandson did have an unusual relationship with Lin Xian. He didn't expect that today's scene would be because of his grandson. Thinking of this, he took a deep breath. Chapter 48:61. The 8th elder's eyes were filled with determination. He had already made up his mind and accepted the patriarch seal. As one of the core elders, he was also a great sage. Previously, he had been suppressed by the 5th elder and had been unable to achieve his goals. Therefore, he didn't bother with the family's affairs. Now that the 5th elder and the patriarch had both died, he could use this opportunity to revive the Nailin family. Since you all think highly of me, I won't decline. A domineering aura emerged from the 8th elder's body. The surrounding elders were stunned, and even the 1st elder's pupils shrank. This 8th elder had hidden his strength well. Previously, he had never taken the 8th elder seriously. The biggest threat to him was the 5th elder, because the 5th elder's granddaughter was the #1 genius in the family. She was very likely to take over as the patriarch in the future. But now the 5th elder had died long ago, and the 8th elder was showing a domineering aura. This was something that had never happened before. After the 8th elder took over, he quickly entered the role of the patriarch. He said in a deep voice, "The cause of this battle was the 5th elder's betrayal. No one else could be blamed. From today onwards, No one in the Nayland family was allowed to seek revenge on Mad God. Moreover, he had to fulfill his promise to Lin Xian. When he returned to the family, he would immediately collect 3 world cores and give them to Lin Xian. He would also give 2 more as compensation. The pupils of the surrounding elders shrank. 5 world cores were given away just like that. However, they didn't dare to object. It was because they didn't give the world cores that the current situation happened. If they dared to refuse, there was no need for the Nayland family to exist. Therefore, everyone nodded in agreement. The 8th elder looked at Lin Xian and said, "Fellow Taoist Mad God, in fact, there was a misunderstanding between us. From now on, the grudges between us are written off. Our family admires fellow Taoist Mad God's strength very much and wants to become friends with you. What do you think?" Lin Xian smiled after hearing this. This 8th elder was indeed very smart. He was very satisfied with all the decisions the 8th elder had made. Therefore he nodded and said yes. Then he looked at the dozen or so elders and said coldly, "I don't want the 8th elder to be in any danger. If he died, there was no need for the Nayland family to exist. Don't even think about making a move in secret. Once I discover it, I will immediately transmit the scene recorded by the formation in my hand. With the crime of murdering the clan leader, I'm afraid there will be no place for you in this world. You'd better behave yourselves." After Lin Xian warned, he turned around and soared into the sky. The 6 Paths cultivator followed. Everyone looked up at the sky in horror. They knew that from now on, the Nayland family would have to respect the other party. Above the 9th heaven, Nayland Yanran was completely stunned. It was as if she had lost her soul. Lin Xian walked over and cleaved his opponent apart with a single slash, destroying his body and soul. After that, his figure disappeared between heaven and earth. The next day at dawn, the news spread. The entire Holy Abyss city was shocked. Countless people went crazy. The Nayland family actually underwent such a transformation. It was too inconceivable. Go and investigate. The 3 great orthodoxies, the clan of the ancients, and the great sects all went to investigate. After all, the Nayland family was also a top-notch family. It was impossible for them not to pay attention. Soon the news came. Report. With the death of the 5th elder, the lineage of the Nayland clan's 5th elder was completely exterminated. What? Everyone sucked in a breath of cold air. Report. In the ruins of the 5th elder's residence, the body of the Nayland family's number 1 prodigy, Nayland Yanran, was found. Everyone was shocked again. It seemed that the 5th elder's lineage was completely doomed. The Nayland family's patriarch had died in an accident, and the 8th elder had taken over as the new patriarch. Another piece of news came, shocking everyone. The death of the 5th elder's lineage was already shocking enough. However, he was only an elder after all. When the Nayland family's patriarch died, everyone was stunned. The patriarch of a family had a terrifying status. He was an existence that could shake the entire ancient city with a stomp of his foot. But now he was dead. Who did it? They all went to investigate. Soon, they received news that Mad God had killed the 5th elder and his lineage. Mad God. When the experts heard this name, they were first stunned, then their eyelids twitched. The other party had actually made a move. How could they not know about Mad God? He was now ranked 1,000 on the Glory leaderboard, but he was extremely mysterious. They had searched countless times but could not find him. They did not expect him to make a move here. Why did he make a move? Soon, they found out that it was to avenge Lin Xian. In an instant, the names of Lin Wudi and Mad God spread throughout the ancient city. They all guessed what the relationship between the two was. Could it be that they were master and disciple? Was the Nayland family's patriarch also killed by Mad God? They were too shocked. As the patriarch of a family, how powerful was he? This Mad God was simply too terrifying. However, the news they found was not so. Some people said that according to the news from the Nayland family, the Nayland family's patriarch had died in an accident. The fifth elder wanted to die together with Mad God, but Mad God dodged. The Nayland family's patriarch did not and was destroyed in body and soul with the fifth elder. Hearing this news, everyone was stunned. It was not Mad God who killed him. It was an accident. They were stunned. This news was naturally spread by the eighth elder. After all, killing the fifth elder was ungrateful, but killing the patriarch was an enemy of the entire family. The eighth elder naturally did not want the Nayland family to become enemies with Mad God, so he released this news. In an instant, the world was in an uproar. Countless people were talking about it, and the Nayland family was also in an uproar. The Nayland family's patriarch was dead, and the patriarch had changed. It was the eighth elder, Naylanda. The patriarch's people were definitely against it, especially the patriarch's son. Why should the eighth elder be the patriarch? He should be the one who killed the patriarch. When he spread this news, hundreds of people responded. However, none of the core elders supported him, especially the great elder and a dozen other core elders. They stood firmly on Naylanda's side. This made the patriarch's people dumbfounded. Even if they did not support them, the great elder would immediately jump out. However, no one jumped out to oppose it. What was going on? Damn it, what had happened last night? They were eager to know. However, the core elders did not say a word. Just like that, under the insistence of a dozen powerful elders, Naylanda became the new patriarch and led the Nayland family. The path sect. There was also a burst of exclamations, especially those from the Divine Union. They were so excited that they wanted to fly into the sky. Mad God was a powerful existence on the Holy Gulf list. He was actually related to Lin Xian. This was equivalent to having a powerful backer, who would dare to look down on them in the future, who would dare to make a move against them. At the thought of this, they were extremely happy. Nayland Yang was even more stunned. His grandfather had changed from a core elder to the patriarch overnight. He had become the grandson of the patriarch. This change in status was too shocking. You're tuning in to the Thunder Spear YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.